Chapter 4004. Swish! A bright light flashed. Lin Feng and Nalan Manqing rushed out of the light. The two of them returned to the real world. At this moment, Lin Feng discovered that he and Nalan Manqing had appeared in a valley. Inside the valley, runes intertwined with each other. At the center of the valley was a huge platform. A terrifying aura could be felt. The aura permeated the area, causing one's hair to stand on end. 4 cultivators sat cross-legged on the platform. The 4 cultivators consisted of an old man, a middle-aged man, a cultivator in his 30s, and a beautiful woman. All 4 of them were extremely powerful. They should be emperor-level experts. Lin Feng stood in the air, looking at the 4 cultivators with an indifferent expression. "Oh? He actually found our location." When the 4 experts saw Lin Feng, they could not help but reveal astonished expressions. They did not expect Lin Feng to appear here. They had thought that they could kill Lin Feng. "Who are you? I don't seem to know you." Lin Feng looked at the 4 with an indifferent expression. "Brat! How dare you behave so atrociously in our Holy War Alliance's territory? Do you think you can leave without a hitch?" The old man sneered. "People from the Holy War Alliance? Hee hee. Are you here to stand up for the Golden Holy Winged Race? None of you are from the Golden Holy Winged Race, right?" Lin Feng narrowed his eyes and looked at the 4 emperors of the Holy War Alliance. "The Holy War Alliance is bound together for glory. Shame upon shame," the middle-aged cultivator said with a sneer. "What a sanctimonious fellow. If I'm not mistaken, the reason you attacked me is because you coveted the supreme treasure on me," Lin Feng said mockingly. The beautiful woman's eyes lit up. "Does that mean you really have a supreme treasure on you?" "Of course. And there's more than one. But you people, you have no chance of getting the supreme treasure on me," Lin Feng said indifferently. "No chance?" The group of people sneered. Obviously, these people didn't think so. "Kill this brat," the cultivator who looked to be in his 30s sneered. As soon as he finished speaking, the 4 monarch-level experts attacked together. "Hold on tight," Lin Feng said in a deep voice. Hearing this, Nalan Manqing hurriedly nodded her head and hugged Lin Feng even tighter. She really liked hugging Lin Feng like this. This feeling made her feel at ease. The 4 Sovereign Lord-level experts activated the Grand Array here. The dense array patterns intertwined and swept towards Lin Feng. The array here shouldn't have been set up by them. It was a formation that had been in place for a long time. These people were relying on the original formation to deal with Lin Feng. Their wishful thinking was extremely good. Lin Feng's expression was indifferent in the face of the attack of the Great Array. Lin Feng's body emitted a terrifying aura. Lin Feng directly used the formation splitting technique recorded in the Stone Sovereign Sutra. Pooh! 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 Ripping sounds could be heard one after another. The array patterns were torn apart, and the Grand Array was destroyed. It was extremely unrealistic to use the Grand Array to deal with Lin Feng. Lin Feng stepped forward in the void. A deep voice resounded between heaven and earth. "The great Tao of Fate, please descend with the power of fate and punish these lowly existences who dare to blaspheme fate." As soon as Lin Feng's voice sounded, a long river of fate flowed out from the void. Then, it suppressed the 4 Sovereign Lord-level experts. "Attack together and break his attack," the 4 Sovereign Lord-level experts shouted in a deep voice. Then, the 4 Sovereign Lord-level experts attacked one after another. "Myriad Tao Immortal Slaying Technique!" the old man shouted in a deep voice and waved his hand. 10,000 rays of holy light surged out. Each ray of holy light seemed to be able to tear apart the void and kill immortals. The power was extremely strong. It was shocking. As soon as the Myriad Tao Immortal Slaying Technique was used, heaven and earth changed color, and the sun and moon lost their light. "I seal all worlds!" the female cultivator attacked. The divine ability she used was also extremely powerful. The temperature between heaven and earth dropped abruptly. The surrounding heaven and earth were sealed in ice. The powerful freezing force wanted to freeze Lin Feng as well. Heaven immortal slaying demon exterminating palm! The middle-aged cultivator shouted coldly and slapped at Lin Feng across the void. In an instant, a huge energy palm condensed above the middle-aged cultivator. That huge energy palm contained the power to destroy the heavens and the earth. With a light shake, the void shattered. The energy palm was like the hand of heaven as it blasted at Lin Feng. Buddha's Wrath Reincarnation / The attack of the cultivator, who looked to be in his 30s, was also very terrifying. He condensed an ancient Buddha. The ancient Buddha's body was burning fiercely. It was an ancient Buddha in a state of rage. The body of the ancient Buddha turned into a ray of reincarnation light. That ray of reincarnation light. It slashed out at Lin Feng. The attacks of the 4 Emperor Lords were extremely strong. However, Lin Feng just chuckled coldly. Trash. You want to hurt yours truly with just your attacks? Dream on! Lin Feng could not help but laugh coldly. He waved his hand. All of a sudden, in the void, an ancient stone gate appeared. Following that, a gigantic wheel appeared. Gate of Karma. Plate of Reincarnation. The Gate of Karma and Plate of Reincarnation were summoned by the 3rd rank 3000 Great Tao Karma Technique, and the 4th rank 3000 Great Tao Reincarnation Technique respectively. Rumble! Rumble! Boom! 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 The Gate of Karma and Plate of Reincarnation unleashed their powers together. Along with an earth-shattering boom, the Gate of Karma crushed the void. Through the endless void, a horrifying amount of power was sent out towards the 4 powerful beings. As for the Reincarnation Plate, it started to revolve in the void. Every time it revolved, it would erupt with unimaginable power. The strength of the Karma Gate and the Reincarnation Disc was incredible. Lin Feng had created the Karma Gate and the Reincarnation Disc together, so the Karma Gate and the Reincarnation Disc complemented each other. Its power would be greatly increased. Bang 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 bang. 4 consecutive sounds of violent collisions were heard. The attacks released by the Gate of Karma and the Plate of Reincarnation instantly destroyed the divine abilities of the 4 Emperor Lords. Next, the Gate of Karma and the Plate of Reincarnation once again unleashed an incomparably powerful attack. An invisible force instantly bombarded the bodies of the 4 Sovereign Lords. The 4 Emperor Lords were instantly sent flying. Wow! 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 Chapter 4005. Oh my God, isn't he too strong? Seeing the 4 Sovereign Lords joining forces to attack Lin Feng and being beaten to the point of vomiting blood by Lin Feng, Nailin Munching's face was filled with shock. She couldn't believe her eyes. The combat strength that Lin Feng had displayed was too terrifying. It was simply too shocking. Such a strong man, such a young man, and such a handsome man. Nailin Manqing even felt her heart palpitating with eagerness towards Lin Feng. Nailin Manqing was also a goddess. Before the calamity of her clan, she was high and mighty with countless suitors. However, Nailin Manqing had never looked at any of her suitors in a different light. Today, facing Lin Feng, Nailin Manqing felt her heart pounding violently. She couldn't help but tighten her arms around Lin Feng's waist. Of course, Lin Feng didn't know what Nailin Manqing was thinking. He only wanted to quickly get rid of the 4 Sovereign Lords in front of him. After the 4 Sovereign Lords were sent flying, Lin Feng immediately took out the 4 stone swords. The 4 stone swords were as fast as lightning as they slashed towards the 4 Sovereign Lords. The reaction of the 4 Emperor Lords was extremely fast. Just as the 4 stone swords were about to slash their bodies, the 4 Sovereign Lords took out their supreme treasures one after another. Each of the 4 Sovereign Lords had a powerful treasure in their hands. They activated their treasures and swept them towards the stone swords that were slashing towards them. Clang! 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 A series of clanging sounds were heard as the 4 Sovereign Lords blocked the attacks of Lin Feng's stone swords. However, before the 4 Sovereign Lords could heave a sigh of relief, even more treasures were sent towards them. Heavenly Drum, Hell King's Bell, Black Dragon Sword, Green Mountain Sword, and other treasures. Which one of them wasn't a top-notch treasure? Any one of these treasures would make anyone's eyes go red with envy. They couldn't wait to snatch these treasures away and claim them as their own. The power of these treasures was simply unimaginable. The 4 monarch lords were almost scared to death when they saw such a powerful magic treasure flying towards them. "This brat is savage! Hurry up and run!" shouted the old man. He turned around and ran. In the air, the old man transformed into a golden eagle. He tore through the void and escaped without a trace. When the other 3 sovereign lords saw the old man running away, they didn't dare to continue fighting. They turned around and tried to escape, but it was too late. Lin Feng's powerful magic treasures arrived in front of the 3 emperor lords. The 3 emperor lords had no choice but to defend against the attacks from Lin Feng's magic treasures. The power of Lin Feng's magic treasures was too terrifying. They directly sent the 3 monarch lords flying. The 3 sovereign lords were already injured, and now that they were sent flying by Lin Feng's magic treasure, their injuries worsened. Wow! The 3 monarch lords spat out mouthfuls of blood as their faces turned even paler. They knew that the situation wasn't good, but now that they were surrounded by Lin Feng's magical weapons, they couldn't escape even if they wanted to. Pfft! At this moment, a tearing sound was heard, followed by a cultivator's scream. The cultivator, who looked like he was in his 30s, took advantage of the middle-aged cultivator's carelessness and cut off one of his arms. Then, the cultivator, with the appearance of a man in his 30s, chanted an incantation. The severed arm in his hand instantly exploded and turned into a space-time gate. He quickly entered the gate of time and space and escaped. "Zhang Qianma! I'll fight you to the death!" The middle-aged cultivator roared in anger. He wanted to break out of the encirclement, but he was sent flying by several magic treasures. Lin Feng rushed forward and suppressed the middle-aged cultivator. If it was an ordinary cultivator, he would have killed him. However, if it was an emperor lord, Lin Feng would try his best not to kill him if he could suppress him. Cultivators at this level were very powerful. After suppressing them, he could directly convert them and make them his most loyal men of sacrifice. Why wouldn't he do it? The female cultivator was also sent flying by Lin Feng's magic treasure. After suppressing the middle-aged cultivator, Lin Feng flew toward the female cultivator. He directly used the 8 divine seals to seal the female cultivator. Dense array patterns condensed and wrapped around the female cultivator's body. The female cultivator wanted to struggle, but she couldn't. In the end, she was sealed by Lin Feng's 8 divine seals. "Kid! Do you know who we are? We're all from the royal families of the myriad races. There are existences in our families who are close to immortals. If you let us go now, we can let bygones be bygones. Otherwise, when the top experts of our families arrive, you'll definitely die," the middle-aged cultivator shouted in a deep voice. The female cultivator also said, "If you let us go, we can even give you a lot of benefits. We also promise that we won't cause trouble for you again." "Ha! No matter how glib your tongues are, you won't be able to change my mind about suppressing you." Lin Feng couldn't help but laugh out loud. He waved his hand, and the gourd of fortune flew out. Lin Feng opened the gourd. The gourd of fortune emitted a powerful devouring power and swallowed the 2 people. When he found the right opportunity, Lin Feng planned to convert the 2 people. Especially the female cultivator. She was strong and her primordial yin was still there. She would be of great help to Lin Feng's cultivation. Fairy. These 4 people either escaped or were suppressed by me. Fairy, can you let me go now? Lin Feng looked at Nalan Manqing in his arms and said, "Ah." Nalan Manqing exclaimed when she heard Lin Feng's words. Her pretty face turned pink. She quickly let go of Lin Feng and lowered her head. Her beautiful face looked as if it could drip blood. Lin Feng didn't pay much attention to Nalan Manqing's change in expression. He wanted to quickly flip through the Dark Bible. This ancient demonic scripture was very attractive to Lin Feng. "Let's go," Lin Feng said. Nalan Manqing nodded with a red face. She flew with Lin Feng to the place where the remaining members of her clan were recuperating. Heavenly Sun Lake! It was an inland lake in the Heavenly Sun province. The inland lake stretched as far as the eye could see. It was said that deity realm cultivators would need to fly for 100 years before they could cross the lake. From this, one could see how big the lake was. Lin Feng and Nailan Manqing arrived at the Heavenly Sun Lake. The Heavenly Sun Lake wasn't safe. There were many powerful beasts roaming around. If one wasn't strong enough, they might be eaten by the beasts in the Heavenly Sun Lake. There was a distorted space in the depths of the Heavenly Sun Lake. It was very dangerous. Ordinary people couldn't enter it. There was an island in the distorted space. Chapter 4006. Along the way, Lin Feng and Nailan Manqing saw many cultivators entering the Heavenly Sun Lake. Most of these cultivators entered the Heavenly Sun Lake to look for opportunities. There were many islands in the Heavenly Sun Lake. Moreover, the Heavenly Sun Lake was rich in resources. Many people liked to come to the Heavenly Sun Lake to search for cultivation resources. In addition, there were many ancient cultivator caves and demon cultivator caves at the bottom of the Heavenly Sun Lake. If one could find one and enter it, it would be a great opportunity. Roar! A dragon's roar came from the front. A great dragon was besieged by dozens of cultivators. Great dragons were generally evolved from gray flood dragons. Although their bloodline was not as powerful as the dragon race, they were infinitely close to the dragon race's bloodline. After the transformation, they would be very powerful. Like the dragon race, they would condense a dragon core in their body. Therefore, gray dragons would often be hunted down by cultivators. However, this was the rule of the cultivation world. The strong preyed on the weak. Survival of the fittest. If one's cultivation was not enough, they were destined to become the prey of others. Lin Feng and Nailan Manqing flew towards the depths. They flew for more than a month before arriving at the hiding place of Nailan Manqing's family. Nailan Manqing took out a token. The token released a lustrous light. A ball of light wrapped around Lin Feng and Nailan Manqing. "Young master! Let's go in!" Nailan Manqing looked at Lin Feng and said. Lin Feng nodded and flew towards the depths of the distorted space with Nailan Manqing. The token in Nailan Manqing's hand was a token to enter this place. With this token, one would not be attacked by the distorted space. Nailan Manqing said, "In the past, one of my ancestors accidentally entered this place and found the island inside. Then, my ancestor spent a lot of effort to integrate some arrays into the distorted space. This greatly increased the power of the distorted space. At the same time, my ancestor created some tokens. These tokens can be used as tokens. Only with this token can one enter and leave this place normally." Hearing this, Lin Feng nodded. After passing through the distorted space, Nailan Manqing and Lin Feng landed on an island covered with ancient forests. So. More than a dozen cultivators quickly flew over. The person in the lead looked rather young. After seeing Nailan Manqing return, that cultivator appeared to be extremely happy. That cultivator was probably one of Nailan Manqing's pursuers. Although these big clans had the same surname, they could get married after 5 generations. Therefore, the number of people in the big clans who got married was not small. "Manqing! You're back! I've been worried about you all this time. Many times I wanted to leave this place to find you. But every time, I was stopped." Manqing's elder, the cultivator said. Immediately he felt despised him. This guy was obviously he wanted to pursue. She said that she was worried about Nailan Manqing. He wanted to go out and find Nailan Manqing. If he really wanted to go out, do you think others can stop you from doing so? He was worried the path. However, he also wanted to show his concern for Nailan Manqing in front of her. Sex was of course realm. Heavens was sect. Was people. Moon. Nailan Manqing nodded indifferently and then said, "Thank you for your concern, 7th cousin. I still have things to do, so I won't chat with 7th cousin." Then Nailan Manqing looked at Lin Feng and said with a smile, "Young master, please come with Manqing. Manqing will bring young master to meet the ancestor." Nailan Manqing always had a cold attitude towards men, even towards this male cultivator. This male cultivator was already used to it, so he did not have any special feelings. However, this male cultivator saw that Nalan Maching's attitude towards Lin Feng was very gentle and pleasant. It was completely different from her attitude towards him. This male cultivator immediately became jealous. Could it be that Nalan Manching liked this brat? This male cultivator could not help but think. This male cultivator regarded Nalan Manching as his exclusive property. How could he allow others to touch her? Therefore, his face instantly became gloomy. The male cultivator said, "Manching, who is this guy? You haven't introduced him yet." After hearing how this male cultivator addressed Lin Feng, Nalan Manching's face suddenly changed. Lin Feng was a terrifying cultivator, she knew that very well. Such an existence was high and mighty. However, her blind seventh cousin actually used this guy to address Lin Feng. If he angered Lin Feng, he could kill her blind seventh cousin with a flick of his finger. Zhao Yunlong. Shut up. Hurry up and apologize to young Master Ji. Nalan Manching coldly said. When this male cultivator heard Nalan Manching actually wanted him to apologize to Lin Feng, his lungs almost exploded. As far as he was concerned, Lin Feng was just a human cultivator. What qualifications did he have to accept his apology? Manching, what are you talking about? How can I apologize to a lowly human? Zhao Yunlong curled his lips and said. He didn't put Lin Feng in his eyes at all. That's right. The human race is the lowliest race among all the races. What qualifications does he have to make Brother Long apologize to him? Sister Manching, don't turn your elbow to the outside. The rest of the people shouted in unison. You all. Nalan Manching was so angry that her face turned ashen. She thought to herself, a bunch of idiots. I'm saving you all. Do you know how terrifying this person is? Even the 4 Emperor Lords weren't his match, let alone you all. However, obviously this group of people didn't know what Nalan Manching was thinking. Lin Feng shook his head and said, Fairy, it seems like the decline of your lineage isn't without reason. Look at the group of trash of the younger generation. Using cats and dogs to describe them is an insult to the words cats and dogs. Hearing Lin Feng's words, Nalan Manching revealed a bitter smile. Lin Feng's words were really insulting, but she couldn't refute Lin Feng. Brat, you dare to insult us? Do you think that with Manching protecting you, we won't dare to touch you? Yao Yunlong's face suddenly became extremely ugly. His eyes flickered with dense killing intent. That's right. We must teach this brat a lesson. Otherwise, where will we put our face? Later, we must make this brat kneel on the ground and kowtow to us. If he dares to resist, break his legs. The group of cultivators shouted loudly. Nalan Manching, who was at the side, heard this group of people's words. She wondered how this young Master Ji would deal with them. Chapter 4007. 13th Uncle. After seeing the middle-aged cultivator, Nalan Manching bowed to him. 13th Elder. Zhao Yunlong and the others did not dare to hesitate, and quickly bowed to the 13th Elder. During this period of time, the 13th Elder had been studying the Bible of Darkness. It was said that he was about to break through to the Sovereign Emperor realm. His status in the clan was extremely high. The middle-aged cultivator nodded. Zhao Yunlong said, 13th Elder. Nothing happened. We were just joking with this brother. Lin Feng could not help but sneer in his heart. Zhao Yunlong looked like a fiend. In reality, he was just a useless piece of trash. The 13th Elder glanced at Zhao Yunlong and the others and said, Disperse. Zhao Yunlong and the others hurriedly nodded and ran away like a wisp of smoke. Nalan Manching introduced. Young Master Ji. This is my 13th uncle, Nalan Xiong. Lin Feng cupped his fists and said, Nice to meet you. Nalan Xiong cupped his fists and asked with a smile, May I know how to address you? Nalan Xiong had a smile on his face. His attitude towards Lin Feng was also very friendly. He was different from Zhao Yunlong and the others. He had experienced too many things in his life. He also knew that Nalan Manching wouldn't easily bring people to this island. Since Nalan Manching had brought this person here, then why would she come here? This meant that this person was definitely extraordinary. One could not judge a book by its cover. The 13th Elder naturally understood this principle. Therefore, he did not look down on Lin Feng just because of his young age. Lin Feng said, "My name is Ji. So it's young Master Ji. Nice to meet you," the 13th Elder said with a smile. Nalan Manching said, "I brought young Master Ji here to meet the old ancestor. I have something important to discuss with the old ancestor. The old ancestor is in seclusion. Counting the time, there are still 3 to 4 days before he comes out. Can young Master Ji wait for a few days?" Nalan Xiong asked. "Of course, no problem," Lin Feng replied. Nalan Xiong smiled and said, "This is not the place to talk. Let's go to the clan and talk in detail." Lin Feng nodded and flew towards the depths of the island with Nalan Xiong and the others. In the depths of the island, there were continuous mountain ranges. Many of the mountain peaks had palaces built on them. Some people didn't like to live in crowded places because they felt that it would disturb their cultivation. Therefore, they built their residences on various mountains. In this way, normally, very few cultivators would disturb their cultivation. The gathering place of the fallen angels was built in a mountain range in the depths of the island. The area was surrounded by mountains on all sides, but the area in the middle was flat. In that area, there were many courtyards and palaces. The two of them chatted for more than an hour in a living room. Next, Nalan Xiong asked Nalan Manching to take Lin Feng to rest. Nalan Manching arranged a place for Lin Feng to stay. Then he left. Lin Feng was planning to rest for a few days to adjust his body. Not long after Nalan Manching left, Zhao Yunlong and the others came to visit. "Brat, scram out here!" These people cursed outside. Lin Feng frowned and walked out. He saw Zhao Yunlong and the others. "Brat! The 13th Elder just appeared. We didn't teach you a lesson. However, do you really think you can escape this calamity?" Zhao Yunlong sneered. "Heh! If I were you, I would scram as far as I can," Lin Feng said indifferently. "Brat! You are really arrogant. Do you know where this place is?" Zhao Yunlong sneered. "In the territory of the Angel Clan," replied Lin Feng indifferently. "Since you know where this place is, you are still so arrogant. You are really tired of living." Zhao Yunlong looked coldly at Lin Feng. He was thinking of how to humiliate Lin Feng later. After all, Lin Feng was brought here by Nalan Manching. Therefore, it was impossible to kill Lin Feng directly. He still had to give Nalan Manching face, right? However, ruthlessly humiliating Lin Feng was imperative. Fallen Angels Land? So what? I am arrogant. I am happy to do so. Lin Feng curled his lips and said. The corners of Zhao Yunlong and the others' mouths twitched violently. They had always been the arrogant ones in front of others. They had always been the ones bullying others. Now, someone was actually being arrogant in front of them. They were being bullied. This made the group angry. They were extremely angry. If I don't teach this brat a lesson, I won't be able to vent my anger. I want to trample this brat under my feet and crush him like a bug. The fallen angel cultivators were all extremely furious. The conflict here naturally attracted a lot of fallen angels to come and watch. Everyone knew that Lin Feng was Nalan Manching's guest, but they didn't know who Lin Feng was. Of course, everyone knew that Zhao Yunlong had been pursuing Nalan Manching. The reason why he came to find trouble with Lin Feng was most likely because of Nalan Manching. However, no one expected Lin Feng to be so arrogant. Lin Feng was the first person to say, I am arrogant, I am happy to do so. In the fallen angels' land. It's fine if that brat is arrogant outside, but now he actually came to our fallen angel tribe to be arrogant. Who does he think he is? Some of the fallen angels said. These people were on Zhao Yunlong's side. However, this matter was started by Zhao Yunlong and the others. Since that brat is Manching's guest, our fallen angel tribe naturally has to be a good host. This way, people won't say that our fallen angel tribe doesn't know the rules. But look at what Zhao Yunlong and the others did. They actually targeted that brat like this. They really don't know the rules. It's a loss of face for our fallen angel tribe. That's right. Zhao Yunlong and the others went too far. No one would have a good temper after being targeted like this. That brat said some extreme words. I think it's quite normal. Some of the fallen angels were clearly dissatisfied with Zhao Yunlong. These people supported Lin Feng. Did you send someone to inform Man Qing? Someone asked. They didn't want this matter to become too tense. After all, if Lin Feng was humiliated, it would be a great blow to their tribe's reputation. I've already sent someone to inform her. I believe she will arrive soon. Someone replied. Chapter 4008. Heh! A piece of trash like you dares to threaten me? The ignorant are truly fearless. Lin Feng could not help but laugh coldly as he looked at Zhao Yunlong with disdain. Anyone would be enraged if they were looked at with such disdain, let alone someone as arrogant as Zhao Yunlong. This guy's words are indeed true. I'm arrogant, I'm happy. It seems like he really doesn't care about Zhao Yunlong and the rest. I wonder what he's relying on. Could it be that he's relying on Man Qing's support? Man Qing hasn't come yet. Zhao Yunlong and the rest have enough time to deal with him. That's right, but this kid is still so arrogant. Could it be because of Man Qing? Does he have the strength to be arrogant? This kid is so young. How much cultivation can he have? I don't believe that he has the strength to defeat Zhao Yunlong and the rest. Zhao Yunlong and the rest are probably going to make their move soon. The surrounding cultivators who were watching the show discussed softly. Zhao Yunlong and the rest looked extremely gloomy. He laughed coldly and said, Kid! The ignorant are fearless. I've seen many people who don't know their own limits, but this is the first time I've seen someone like you who doesn't know his own limits. Lin Feng shook his head and said, I can't be bothered to talk to a piece of trash like you. You're courting death. You're courting death. Do it. Teach this kid a good lesson. Zhao Yunlong immediately roared furiously, his eyes filled with dense killing intent. Lin Feng had completely infuriated him. Do it. Teach this kid a good lesson. Zhao Yunlong waved his hand. Yes. After receiving Zhao Yunlong's order, the rest of the cultivators pounced on Lin Feng fiercely. Kneel! Seeing the cultivators pouncing on him, Lin Feng's expression suddenly darkened. He shouted coldly. Suddenly it was as if endless heavenly might filled the area. Thump! 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 The group of cultivators who were pouncing on Lin Feng all knelt on the ground. The cultivators were all trembling. Their faces were pale. The aura emitted from Lin Feng's body made them feel as weak as ants. Lin Feng, on the other hand, was an extremely powerful dragon. Heavens, he's so strong! The cultivators who were watching the show exclaimed one after another. Lin Feng is too strong. The combat power that he displayed is truly shocking. How is that possible? Zhao Yunlong's face was filled with disbelief. Lin Feng of the Lin Feng of him. Of a human cultivator. In Zhao Yunlong's impression, human cultivators seemed to always be closely associated with the word weak. However, of Lin Feng of the Lin's of the Lin of the Lin of Lin. Lin Feng hadn't even attacked. He had only released a portion of his aura, yet it had suppressed so many experts. If he really made a move, how strong would he be? It's your turn. Lin Feng walked towards Yunlong step by step. Yunlong retreated step by step. He looked at Lin Feng in horror and said, This is the land of the fallen angels. You'd better not go too far. Otherwise, you should know what the consequences are. Lin Feng sneered and said, So what if it's the land of the fallen angels? If I want to leave, no one can stop me. Arrogant. He's too arrogant. Lin Feng's words. He's really arrogant to the extreme. He actually dared to say such words in the land of the fallen angels. It's shocking. Someone who dares to say such words must have a problem with his brain. He must have absolute confidence in himself. Obviously. Lin Feng looked at him. He didn't look like someone who had a problem with his brain. This showed that Lin Feng had absolute confidence in himself. Therefore, that's why he dared to say such words. You kneel down as well. Kneel until I'm satisfied. Lin Feng's expression was indifferent. He waved his hand and an invisible force suppressed Yunlong. That invisible force suppressed Zhao Yunlong's body. There was a thump. Yunlong also knelt on the ground. He wanted to struggle, but he couldn't break free from Lin Feng's suppression. Ah, you dare to suppress me. You actually dare to suppress me. Brat, I won't let you off. Yunlong roared angrily. He knelt on the ground in front of everyone. Zhao Yunlong felt deeply humiliated. This drove him to the brink of insanity, as he roared hysterically. However, no one dared to speak up for Yunlong. Kneel down obediently. Lin Feng looked indifferently at Yunlong, who was kneeling on the ground. He was just a small character. Lin Feng didn't even care too much about him. Then, he returned to his residence. He left behind a group of fallen angels who were discussing among themselves. Not long after, Nailin Manqing arrived. When Nailin Manqing saw Lin Feng, she said, Young Master Ji! Yunlong and the others offended Young Master. It's their fault. Young Master has already taught them a lesson. Can you let them off? Lin Feng said indifferently. If I let them off now, they won't learn their lesson. Let them continue kneeling there. Nailin Manqing felt somewhat helpless. Lin Feng's actions would cause dissatisfaction in many of the fallen angels. After all, Lin Feng was currently in the territory of the fallen angels. Yet he had suppressed Yunlong and the others, making them kneel for a long time. Many of the fallen angels felt extremely uncomfortable. However, Lin Feng didn't seem to have any intention of changing his mind. Nailin Manqing sighed inwardly. She knew that Lin Feng was a man of his words. Besides, Lin Feng looked gentle and kind, but in reality, he was a decisive person. It was hard to believe that anyone could change his mind. Nailin Manqing could only leave. Preposterous! This brat has gone too far. Not long after, many of the upper echelons of the fallen angels gathered in the meeting hall of the fallen angels. Many of them had extremely gloomy expressions. Everyone! This young Master Ji is very terrifying. Don't provoke him. Or else, if you anger him, the consequences will be unimaginable. Nailin Manqing said. Humph. He's so young. No matter how powerful he is, how strong can his cultivation be? A peak Saint Emperor Elder said with a sneer. Nailin Manqing said. Previously, Manqing was surrounded by 4 sovereign lords with him. The 4 sovereign lords were instantly defeated by him. Furthermore, only 2 of them managed to escape. The other 2 were suppressed by him. What? There's such a thing? Chapter 4009. Lin Feng's battle prowess had shocked everyone. However, it sounded inconceivable because Lin Feng was too young. No one could believe that such a young cultivator could possess such terrifying strength. However, these words were said by Nailin Manqing. Naturally, Nailin Manqing wouldn't lie to everyone. Therefore, it was as if a monstrous wave had been set off in everyone's heart. Nailin Manqing said, Zhao Yunlong and those bastards deserved it. I warned them not to provoke young Master Ji, but they didn't listen. Now they are in big trouble. This young Master Ji is so powerful. Zhao Yunlong and the others are lucky that they didn't get killed after offending him. It seems like this young Master Ji still left some face for our clan, a female cultivator said. This female cultivator was none other than Nailin Manli, Nailin Manqing's elder sister from a different mother. However, the relationship between the 2 sisters wasn't very harmonious. The reason for this situation was traced back to a long time ago. One clan had a saintess. Back then, the 2 sisters were about the same strength and talent. However, Nailin Manli's mother had a powerful background. Therefore, Nailin Manli was appointed as the saintess. As for Nalan Momley's mother, she didn't become the saintess because her mother's background wasn't as strong as Nalan Momley's. Nalan Manching was naturally unwilling to accept this. Therefore, from then on, the two sisters were like strangers. That's right. I think we should put this matter to rest for now. Tell the clan not to offend young Master Ji. As for Zhao Yunlong and the others, let them continue to kneel there. Let young Master Ji vent his anger, a middle-aged man said. This middle-aged man was the father of Nalan Momley and Nalan Manching. His name was Nalan Yuanlong. Nalan Yuanlong was also a powerful figure. He could break through to the Emperor realm at any time. His words carried a lot of weight in the clan. If there were no accidents, he would become the new clan head once he broke through to the Emperor realm. Yes. Hearing Nalan Yuanlong's command, everyone hurriedly complied. Nalan Yuanlong continued. Chinger, you are more familiar with young Master Ji. Go to young Master Ji's place and bring some gifts as an apology. Let young Master Ji calm down. Yes, father, Nalan Manching replied. She liked being close to Lin Feng, and this was another reason to be close to Lin Feng. Naturally, she was extremely happy. However, at this moment, Nalan Manli said, Father! Manching is more familiar with this young Master Ji, so it's not appropriate for her to apologize. This might cause their relationship to drift apart, which would be disadvantageous to our clan. So why don't you let me go? I don't know this young Master Ji, so it's best for me to apologize. Nalan Manching coldly said. There's no need for that. Young Master Ji is broad-minded and isn't the kind of person you think he is. Nalan Momley smiled and said, There's no telling what's in a person's heart. Little sister, how do you know what that young Master Ji is thinking? I can see that you like that young Master Ji, don't you? The rest of the fallen angel clansmen, including the two sisters' father, Nalan Yuanlong, couldn't help but light up. If they could really make Nalan Manching and young Master Ji a couple, wouldn't that mean that their clan would have a top-notch son-in-law? Why wouldn't he be happy about it? The higher-ups looked at each other and began to consider this matter in their hearts. After Nalan Momley guessed her thoughts, Nalan Manching's face immediately turned red. She said in a panic, What nonsense are you talking about? Who likes him? Nalan Momley smiled and said, Little sister, it's normal for a man to be in love with a woman. There's no need to be embarrassed. In this world, there are many scumbags and not many good men. This young Master Ji is obviously a top-notch man. If you miss this chance, you'll regret it for the rest of your life. Big sister is going to help you sound him out. If this young Master Ji is also interested, we might as well make this beautiful marriage happen. Wouldn't that be great? Are you that kind-hearted? Nalan Manching looked at Nalan Momley suspiciously. Nalan Momley said, Little sister, there have been some misunderstandings between us sisters all these years. However, how many years have passed? It's time to resolve these misunderstandings. I'm sure you're very clear about our clan's situation. We should work together to overcome this crisis. Good. Well said, Monli. Father is gratified to see the two of you reconcile. Monli, when you go to young Master Ji's residence, try to sound him out and see what he thinks of Manching. Nalan Yuanlong said. Yes, Lord Father. Nalan Monli replied. Nalan Manching's hair was flushed red. Her beauty was indescribable. I'll go and see that young Master Ji. Nalan Monli said and left. Soon Nalan Monli arrived at Lin Feng's residence. Cousin Monli, save us. When they saw Nalan Monli, Zhao Yunlong and the others hurriedly asked for help from Nalan Monli. Shut up. Nalan Monli scolded coldly. Zhao Yunlong and the others' expressions turned ugly. However, Nalan Monli was the clan's holy maiden and had a high status. They didn't dare to refute Nalan Monli. Young Master Ji. I'm Nalan Monli, Nalan Manching's elder sister. I'd like to see young Master Ji. Nalan Monli said from outside. Lin Feng, who was resting inside, was shocked. Nalan Monli. She's actually here. Is this an old lover meeting? Or is it a small world? Come in. Lin Feng's voice sounded from inside. Why does this voice sound so familiar? Nayland Momley's beautiful face couldn't help but reveal a puzzled expression. However, everyone looked the same, let alone their voices. Therefore, Nayland Momley didn't think too much about it. She pushed open the door and entered the courtyard. Then, she closed the door and walked towards the living room. Nayland Momley came here with the intention of asking Lin Feng about his feelings towards Nayland Manqing. She wanted to use this opportunity to mend the relationship between the two sisters. Of course, Nayland Momley also wanted to see who this young Master Ji was. He was so young and yet so powerful. Soon, Nayland Momley entered the living room and saw the young man sitting in the living room, drinking tea. Chapter 40:10. It's you! Upon seeing Lin Feng, Nayland Momley immediately screamed. Even if Lin Feng turned into ashes, she would still remember Lin Feng. She would never forget what had happened back then. TSK, isn't this little Lily? It's been so many years, but you're still as beautiful as ever. Lin Feng smiled as he looked at Nayland Momley. Who are you calling little Lily? Nayland Momley gritted her teeth as she looked at Lin Feng. She couldn't wait to cut Lin Feng into pieces. Even though many years had passed, Nayland Momley still couldn't forget what had happened back then. Lin Feng smiled as he said, When old lovers meet, there's no need to have such a bad attitude, right? I'm so disappointed. I originally thought that when the two of us meet, it would be a scene of you and me being lovey-dovey. Who's lovey-dovey with you? Right now, I just want to chop you up. Nayland Momley took out a treasured sword and directly rushed towards Lin Feng. Then she slashed her sword at Lin Feng. After seeing Lin Feng, this high and mighty saintess completely lost control. Lin Feng flicked his finger. With a clang, the treasured sword in Nayland Momley's hand was sent flying. Then, he grabbed Nayland Momley's jade-like hand and pulled Nayland Momley into his embrace. Let go of me. Nayland Momley looked at Lin Feng fiercely. Beauty! Please don't speak ill of me. You'll hurt my heart. All these years. You've always been on my mind. Lin Feng smiled as he looked at Nayland Momley. Do you think I'll believe your nonsense? You're a despicable and shameless guy. Nayland Momley gritted her teeth as she spoke. Lin Feng said, Little Lily! I'm telling the truth. Ever since that day, I realized that I could no longer forget you. A day as husband and wife means endless devotion for the rest of your life. Do you have the heart to treat me so heartlessly? You, shameless! Who was your husband for a day? Nayland Momley blushed and said. Lin Feng said, Little Lily, you sure are forgetful. Do you need me to tell you what happened earlier? Shut up! Nayland Momley quickly screamed. She would not tolerate Lin Feng talking about what had happened in the past. It seems that my little Lily has remembered. Lin Feng pinched Nayland Momley's face. Let me go first. Nayland Momley glared at Lin Feng. But for some reason, listening to Lin Feng's sweet words, Nayland Momley found that her hatred for Lin Feng was rapidly declining. This caused her to panic a little. Lin Feng said with a smile. I'm not letting you go. I haven't seen my little Lily for too long. I miss you so much. How can I let you go so easily? You! Nayland Momley immediately gnashed her teeth. What about me? Lin Feng asked with a smile. Shameless! Nayland Momley said fiercely. Look at what you're saying. You've wronged me. I'm a gentleman, Lin Feng said. Would a gentleman say those words all the time? Nayland Momley said sarcastically. Lin Feng said, I'm a gentleman who likes to keep saying those words. Nayland Momley rolled her eyes. Shameless people were truly invincible. Do you know why I came to your clan? Lin Feng asked. Of course I know. Didn't Manqing ask you to find the second half of the Bible of Darkness? Nayland Momley snorted. Actually, that's not my main goal. My main goal is to see you. How have you been all these years? Are you safe? Are you hurt? Lin Feng looked at Nayland Momley with an affectionate expression. Lin Feng was a love saint. Wasn't it easy to deal with an inexperienced woman like Nayland Momley? All these years, countless people had pursued Nayland Monley, but Nayland Monley had never agreed to any of them. Thus, she was a complete novice when it came to dealing with relationships. Seeing Lin Feng's affectionate expression, Nayland Monley did not even dare to look at Lin Feng, because she felt her heart beating very fast. She felt as though her heart was about to jump out of her chest. This feeling made Nayland Monley nervous, shy, and a trace of sweetness. Actually, one could not blame Nayland Monley for having such feelings for Lin Feng. This was caused by many factors. First, the first point, Lin Feng's appearance was very handsome and charming. He was simply a handsome man who could charm thousands of girls. Second, the second point, Lin Feng was so young, yet his cultivation was so strong. His future was limitless. When men looked for women, they liked to look for goddess-like women. When women looked for men, they naturally hoped that their men would be capable. Third, the third point, although Nayland Monley did not want to admit it, one thing had already happened. She had already done that kind of intimate thing with Lin Feng. This was something that could not be changed. Although she wanted to kill Lin Feng, due to various reasons and Lin Feng's sweet words, the last line of defense in Nayland Monley's heart was instantly broken. Therefore, when chasing a girl, one had to be bold, careful, and thick-skinned. Chase whichever girl you like, and praise her beauty when you have nothing to do. Sooner or later you will be able to catch up with her. Nayland Monley now felt that her heart was in a mess. She did not know how to face Lin Feng. Originally, Nayland Monley wanted to ask Lin Feng how he felt about her sister, Nayland Manqing. But now, these original intentions had long been thrown beyond the clouds. I want to go back and sort out my thoughts, Nayland Monley said. The night is long. Why don't you stay and tell me about the various things you have experienced over the years? I will also tell you about some of the things that happened over the years, Lin Feng said. Nayland Monley hesitated in her heart, but in the end she nodded her head. The night was full of flowers and moon. Every moment of the spring night was worth 1,000 gold. A sleepless night spent singing. The spring breeze blew and brushed the willows. It was the night of the full moon. Every sound was delicate and moving. One night. In the past. When Lin Feng woke up, Nayland Monley had already left. He felt refreshed. After waking up, he sat down cross-legged and began to comprehend the divine ability. Bang! Not long after Nayland Monley returned to her residence, Nayland Monley came to Nayland Monley's residence and kicked open the door. What are you doing? Nayland Monley asked coldly. What am I doing? Don't you know what you are doing? Yesterday, you went to young Master Ji's place and did not come out. What are you doing? Nayland Monley looked at Nayland Monley with resentment and asked aggressively. She knew that she had been deceived by Nayland Monley. Chapter 40:11. Nayland Monley said. You misunderstood. I didn't chat with young Master Ji for long before I left. However, the sky was dark, so I left quietly. I didn't alert anyone, not even Zhao Yunlong and the others who were kneeling outside the courtyard. It had to be said that this woman was able to lie without blushing. Who are you trying to fool? Nayland Monley obviously didn't believe her. She glared at Nayland Monley fiercely. What I said is the truth. You know what kind of person I am. Over the years, there have been so many geniuses who have chased after me. Have you ever taken a second look at them? How is it possible that something like this happened after meeting young Master Ji? Nayland Monley continued. Nayland Manqing couldn't help but frown slightly. Although she hated Nayland Monley very much. However, Nayland Manqing still believed Nayland Monley's words. Because Nayland Manqing understood Nayland Monley quite well. She knew that Nayland Monley wasn't a casual woman. Humph! I'll believe you one more time. Nayland Manqing snorted coldly. Nayland Monley let out a long sigh. Nayland Manqing asked. Then, did you ask young Master Ji about that matter? Nayland Monley naturally knew what Nayland Manqing was referring to. He said, I've already asked young Master Ji. Young Master Ji said that, at this stage, He is wholeheartedly seeking the Tao. He doesn't have the energy to spend on his personal feelings. Young Master Ji really said that? Nalan Manqing bit her lips and said. When she heard Nalan Manli's words, she felt as though her heart was being split open by a treasured sword. Pain. Really pain. Her hope was shattered. What followed was pain. No wonder feelings were the easiest to break down. It really made sense. Little sister, there are many good men in the world. Nalan Manli wanted to persuade her. But before Nalan Manli could finish speaking, Nalan Manqing had already run out. Little sister, I can only apologize because that man is mine. After Nalan Manqing left, Nalan Manli's lips curled into a faint smile. On this day, Lin Feng finally waited for the fallen angel tribe's ancestor to come out of seclusion. Lin Feng met the old ancestor. This old ancestor was indeed extremely old, but his cultivation should be very strong. Lin Feng guessed that he was around the 7th or 8th level of the monarch realm. However, his face was a little pale. It seemed that his injuries had not healed yet. Little friend Ji, this old man is Nalan Qiong. I've kept you waiting, Nalan Qiong said with a smile. Lin Feng smiled and said, It's okay. As long as I can read the Dark Bible, it's worth it no matter how long I wait. Nalan Qiong was stunned for a moment before he burst into laughter and said, Little friend, you're really a straightforward person. I've always liked to speak the truth. I'm sure the people in your tribe have already told you my request. I want to read the first half of the Dark Bible, Lin Feng said. Nalan Qiong said, Indeed, this old man has already been informed. This old man can agree to your request. However, I need you to bring back the second half of the Dark Bible. Only then can this old man let you read the Dark Bible, Lin Feng said indifferently. I have a rule when I do things. I'll take the benefits first before doing anything. Hearing this, the corner of Nalan Qiong's mouth twitched violently. Who would take the benefits first before doing anything? Wasn't it always taking the benefits after doing something? Little friend's rule is really hard to accept, Nalan Qiong said. Asking me to do something. That's the rule. However, you can rest assured. I'm a person. Since I've taken the benefits of others, I will definitely help the other party get it done, Lin Feng said. Nalan Qiong's expression was uncertain. Clearly, he was worried that Lin Feng would not help them after reading the Dark Bible. Wouldn't that be a huge loss for them? In the end, Nalan Qiong gritted his teeth and said, All right. This old man will let you study the first half of the Dark Bible. This old man believes that you're definitely not the kind of person who takes things and does nothing. Lin Feng smiled and said, Of course. I've always been a man of my words. Swish. There was a flash of light. An ancient book appeared. It was a black book that was chained by 4 chains. You can only study it. You can't open the chains. It's said that once the chains of the Dark Bible are opened, something terrible will happen, Nalan Qiong said. Something terrible? What is it? Lin Feng asked curiously. In the past, an ancestor of my clan who entered the immortal realm opened the chains, but that ancestor eventually became crazy, Nalan Qiong said with a solemn expression. Hearing this, Lin Feng was shocked. If what Nalan Qiong said was true, then this Dark Bible was truly strange to the extreme. All right. I'll remember it. Then I won't disturb you anymore. Lin Feng stood up. Nalan Qiong personally sent Lin Feng out. Lin Feng returned to his residence and took out the Dark Bible. This Dark Bible should be the first half of the Dark Bible. It seemed that the Dark Bible was deliberately written in 2 books. Swish! The Demon Lord appeared and looked at the Dark Bible. Lin Feng was surprised. The Demon Lord rarely appeared, and there were very few things that could attract the Demon Lord. However, the Demon Lord came out because of the Dark Bible, which was really beyond Lin Feng's expectations. Demon Lord! I've heard of this Dark Bible. It's a treasure from the wasteland. How much do you know about the Dark Bible? Lin Feng asked. Previously, He had actually talked with the Demon Lord about the Dark Bible, but the Demon Lord told Lin Feng that he didn't know much about the Dark Bible. But now, it seemed that the Demon Lord's words were not credible. The Demon Lord said, "The Dark Bible! Rumor has it that it came from that place." "That place? What do you mean? Isn't it something that came from the wasteland?" Lin Feng couldn't help but frown. The Demon Lord's words made him even more puzzled. The Demon Lord said, "The place I'm talking about isn't the wasteland." Lin Feng was startled. It seemed that the Dark Bible had come from the place the Demon Lord mentioned to the wasteland. It was brought out from the wasteland by someone. What exactly is that place? Lin Feng continued asking, very curious about the place the Demon Lord mentioned. "It's a place that can't be mentioned." The Demon Lord frowned. Lin Feng sighed helplessly. There were many things that the Demon Lord was unwilling to talk about. Lin Feng's curiosity was cut off just like that. This kind of feeling was really quite terrible. However, Lin Feng quickly thought of a possibility. He took a deep breath. He said, "Demon Lord, the place you mentioned, is it related to the mastermind?" Chapter 40:12. It seemed that the Demon Lord was very wary of those terrifying existences. Perhaps the Demon Lord already knew the true identity of those people behind the scenes. In the past, those people behind the scenes had also suffered heavy injuries, which was why they had gone silent. However, after so many years, those people behind the scenes should have more or less recovered. Therefore, when those terrifying existences were mentioned, it was very likely that something terrible would happen. The Demon Lord was very cautious and would not easily put himself in danger. Even if it was the smallest possibility, he would do his best to eliminate that possibility. "Hopefully, I can find some useful information from here," Lin Feng said. He planned to study the Dark Bible. Lin Feng wanted to obtain some powerful inheritance from the Dark Bible. Secondly, he wanted to use the Dark Bible to find out some information about those mysterious existences. However, he did not know if he could find any information about those existences. If he could, he would be able to find out some information about those terrifying existences. Perhaps it would be of great help in resisting the Doomsday War in the future. Lin Feng sat cross-legged with the Dark Bible in his hand. He then began to try to communicate with the Dark Bible. However, how difficult was it to communicate with the Dark Bible? Lin Feng tried for a long time, but he was unable to make any progress. Of course, Lin Feng was not someone who would give up easily. He continued to sense the Dark Bible. Lin Feng didn't know how much time had passed, but he finally sensed something mysterious. He vaguely felt as if he had fallen into a dark world. Inside that dark world, there was a huge ancient book. That ancient book was the Dark Bible. Lin Feng sat cross-legged on top of the Dark Bible. "What do you want to know?" Suddenly, a voice rang out in Lin Feng's mind. That voice was fleeting. It was impossible to tell whether it was a man or a woman. It was also impossible to tell whether it was old or young. "I want to know the secret of the Dark Bible," Lin Feng replied. "If you want to know the secret of the Dark Bible, you need to open the chains. Now, open the chains of the Dark Bible. When the time comes, you will be able to learn many unimaginable secrets." That voice once again resounded in Lin Feng's mind, slowly tempting him. Lin Feng frowned. He remembered that Nalin Qiong had told him not to open the Dark Bible carelessly, because the Dark Bible was too terrifying. Once the Dark Bible was opened, some terrifying things would happen. For example, Nalin Qiong's ancestor would become insane, or perhaps something even more terrifying would happen. The Dark Bible was like a curse, and he had to treat it with caution. "Someone told me I can't open the Bible of Darkness," Lin Feng said. "Do you know why he didn't let you open the Bible of Darkness?" An ethereal voice was heard. Lin Feng said, "You're worried that something might happen to me, he. The faintly discernible voice sneered. "Why are you sneering? Am I wrong?" Lin Feng asked indifferently. "Do you believe what that person said?" The faintly discernible voice asked a question instead of answering. I believe you very much, Lin Feng replied. The ethereal voice was clearly trying to lead Lin Feng into saying that he didn't believe the person. However, Lin Feng didn't fall for it. Lin Feng's reply could easily put an end to the conversation. There are many great secrets recorded in the Bible of Darkness, such as the secret of becoming an immortal, the voice said. Let nature take its course, and you can become an immortal, Lin Feng said. Kid, you're too ignorant. How can becoming an immortal be so simple? You need the method to become an immortal. Otherwise, it's impossible to become an immortal. That's why many people are only a step away from becoming an immortal, but they can't become an immortal even after spending their entire lives because they don't have the method to become an immortal. The faintly discernible voice continued. The method to become an immortal isn't that hard to find. For example, there are some ancient immortal scriptures such as the Great Desolation Scripture and the Eastern Emperor Scripture. Lin Feng replied indifferently. What about the secret to eternal life? The faintly discernible voice continued. That, Lin Feng frowned slightly. It might be possible to find the method to become an immortal, but the secret to eternal life was too difficult to find. Lin Feng had heard that the secret to eternal life was recorded in the Supreme Celestial Court, the door of eternal life, and the heaven-shaking stone steel. But he hadn't heard of anyone who had obtained the method to eternal life. The secret to eternal life is recorded in the Dark Bible. Do you want to know? If you do, you can open the chains. Explore it. The voice continued to tempt Lin Feng. Of course, Lin Feng wanted to become immortal, but it was too early to talk about immortality. Lin Feng was still a great emperor. He hadn't even broken through to immortality, so how could he talk about eternal life? It was really too early. Forget about eternal life. I'm just living one day at a time, Lin Feng replied indifferently. The terrifying voice continued. Then do you want to become an existence that can control everything? What do you mean? Lin Feng couldn't help but raise his brow. Look at this. One era after another begins and ends. Take a look. One epoch after another begins and ends. The end of an era, accompanied by some unknown and terrifying power. Many people say that there's a mastermind behind the scenes. Of course, you can also think of it this way. No matter how strong one's cultivation is, as long as one is in an era, one can die. For example, those who have crossed several eras can also die. Do you want to transcend? Transcend to the point where you can control the fate of others. You can become immortal when heaven and earth decay. You can become immortal when an era is destroyed. I don't understand what you're saying. Can you make it simpler? Said Lin Feng, rolling his eyes. I have to say, your comprehension ability is very poor. The faintly discernible voice said in an annoyed tone. Lin Feng said. It's precisely because my comprehension ability is poor that it's time for you to perform. The ethereal voice continued. To put it simply, you want to become one of those terrifying existences who started the Armageddon Wars and destroyed eras, right? What? You have a way to make me become one of those existences? Chapter 40:13. Of course. How is it? Are you tempted? The faintly discernible voice continued to entice him. It wanted to lure Lin Feng into taking the bait. Lin Feng sneered and said, The ones I hate the most are those who started the Armageddon War. You actually want me to become that kind of person. What are your intentions? After hearing Lin Feng's words, the ethereal voice was rendered speechless. Because he truly did not know how to respond to Lin Feng's words. He had thought that Lin Feng was tempted. Who would have thought that Lin Feng would actually say something like that? This faintly discernible existence could only smile bitterly and helplessly. He really wanted to pry open Lin Feng's head and see what Lin Feng was thinking. What? You're not saying anything? I already knew that you were up to no good. Just as I guessed, you really are up to no good, Lin Feng said viciously. Kid! You're rejecting a chance to become a super expert. You should know this. In a person's life, Opportunities are limited. Once you reject the opportunity in front of you, perhaps you won't be able to get any other opportunities. Have you ever thought about this? The faintly discernible existence said in a cold voice. Lin Feng said indifferently. This young master has plenty of opportunities. I'm not lacking in opportunities like yours. Besides, you don't look like a good person at all. You've been trying to lure me to open the chains. You must have some unspeakable secret. Kid, don't be so full of yourself. If you miss this opportunity, you'll regret it for the rest of your life. The ethereal voice was filled with anger. Clearly, Lin Feng had infuriated the voice. Regret your entire family. Lin Feng pursed his lips. You! This faintly discernible existence was greatly angered. Schwa! A moment later, Lin Feng returned to the real world. He opened his eyes and found the dark Bible still in his hand. Phew! Lin Feng let out a long sigh. The Bible of Darkness was extremely strange, and it made one's hair stand on end. Fortunately, his willpower was strong. If his willpower was not strong enough, he would not have been able to resist the temptation of the Dark Bible. If he were to be tempted by the Dark Bible, he would most likely die a tragic death. Let me try again and see if I can gain anything. Lin Feng couldn't help but take a deep breath. After the previous experience, Lin Feng paid a lot more attention this time. Lin Feng once again entered a state of epiphany. Not long after, Lin Feng felt that he had once again returned to that dark space. He was still sitting cross-legged on top of the huge dark Bible, but this time, the seductive voice did not ring out. Lin Feng attempted to communicate with the dark Bible. Not long after, Lin Feng felt that he seemed to have sensed some special information. They were runes. Every rune was mysterious and unfathomable. Now, Lin Feng memorized all the runes in his mind. After memorizing all the runes, Lin Feng's divine sense retreated from the dark space. Lin Feng carefully examined the runes in his mind. Lin Feng was shocked to find that there were many chants recorded in the runes. Is this the first half of the Dark Bible's chants? Lin Feng looked shocked. The Dark Bible was the core demonic scripture recorded in the ancient book. It was the Dark Bible. Of course, one had to be careful when cultivating such a demonic scripture. Many demonic scriptures were very powerful, but they were not easy to control. In the end, there might be cases where the cultivation method took control of the cultivator. Such cases were relatively rare in the world of immortals. In the fiend world, however, there were countless such cases. I wonder if the Dark Bible has a way to become an immortal? Lin Feng could not help but frown slightly. Logically speaking, a high-level demonic scripture like the Dark Bible should have recorded a way to become an immortal. However, if one wanted to obtain such a way, one would have to comprehend it on their own. The Demon Lord asked. Apart from the Dark Bible's chants, what else did you sense? Lin Feng said. There was a voice that kept enticing me, hoping that I would unlock the chains. Oh? What did the voice say to you? The Demon Lord asked curiously. Lin Feng told the Demon Lord everything the voice had said to him. It should be. The Demon Lord frowned. Who is it? Lin Feng asked. The spirit of the Dark Bible, the Demon Lord said. It is said. This book. It is said to be an extremely terrifying treasure, the Demon Lord said. It's an extremely terrifying magical treasure? Is that true? A look of disbelief appeared on Lin Feng's face. It sounded, a little, inconceivable. Because, he truly did not realize that the Dark Bible was a treasure. Apart from the special materials, there did not seem to be anything special about it. However, the Demon Lord had said that the Dark Bible was an extremely powerful treasure. Lin Feng felt that the Demon Lord would not speak without thinking. Perhaps we can unlock the chains. The spirit of the Dark Bible will appear, the Demon Lord said. Let's forget about that. If we really unlock the chains, who knows what terrifying things will happen? Lin Feng said. There are some things that I need to ask this guy, the Demon Lord said. Lin Feng frowned slightly. Clearly, the Demon Lord insisted on unlocking the chains. However, Lin Feng did not want to do so because he felt that it was extremely dangerous. If he was careless, he might die without a grave. You can try to comprehend the Dark Bible. When you enter that illusory world of darkness, you should be able to communicate with the spirit of the Dark Bible, Lin Feng said. The Demon Lord said. It is useless. Only people of flesh and blood can sense the Dark Bible. As for me, I do not meet this condition. So, you must unlock the chains of the Dark Bible? Lin Feng's frown deepened. The Demon Lord had made such a request. This put Lin Feng in a very difficult position. However, the Demon Lord insisted. Thinking of how much help the Demon Lord had given him over the years, if he directly rejected the Demon Lord, wouldn't that be too disrespectful to the Demon Lord? If the spirit of the Dark Bible escapes, will we suffer a calamity? Lin Feng said helplessly. No. I am here. What are you afraid of? The Demon Lord said. Lin Feng smiled bitterly. The more confident the Demon Lord was, the more uncertain Lin Feng felt. All right, then unlock the chains of the Dark Bible. Chapter 40:14. Don't worry. I'm here. Nothing will happen, the Demon Lord said confidently. Lin Feng smiled bitterly and nodded. Now that he had decided to open the chains, he could only pray that the Demon Lord had a way to deal with the spirit of the Dark Bible. If he couldn't deal with it, who knew what terrible things would happen? Lin Feng's face couldn't help but reveal a dignified expression. The Demon Lord had a calm look on his face. This guy wasn't worried at all. His heart was really big. Seeing the Demon Lord's confident look, Lin Feng was finally able to relax a little. Since the Demon Lord wasn't worried about the spirit of the Dark Bible appearing, it seemed that the Demon Lord might really have a way to deal with the spirit of the Dark Bible. Lin Feng immediately pondered. What did the Demon Lord want to ask the spirit of the Dark Bible? He didn't hesitate to take the risk to open the chains of the Dark Bible. Although he still didn't know what the Demon Lord wanted to ask, he would soon find out. These 4 chains, how do I open them? Lin Feng asked curiously. The Demon Lord said. The truly powerful part of these 4 chains isn't the chains themselves, but the runes on them. If you can break these runes, the chains will automatically open, the Demon Lord said. Lin Feng looked at the runes on the 4 chains and couldn't help but frown. The runes on the 4 chains were very mysterious. With Lin Feng's level of array formation, looking at the runes a few more times actually made him feel dizzy. This shocked Lin Feng. What kind of runes were they? How could they make him feel so dizzy? It was really unimaginable. The Demon Lord came before the Dark Bible and reached out to touch the 4 chains. Then, something that shocked Lin Feng happened. Runes flew out one after another. Those runes all fused into the 4 chains. The Demon Lord was deciphering the runes. The Demon Lord's methods were getting more and more advanced. Lin Feng was astonished by all the techniques he knew. Even Lin Feng found it hard to believe. The current Demon Lord. Things were no longer the same as before. However, Lin Feng remembered that the Demon Lord was only a great Emperor-level expert in the past. At most, a great Emperor would have the battle strength of an Emperor Lord. Logically speaking, even Emperor Lord-level existences were far from the Demon Lord's current strength. Therefore, Lin Feng now had some doubts about the Demon Lord. He felt that this fellow, Yao Jun, was hiding many secrets. Lin Feng said, Demon Lord, some of your methods are truly shocking, the Demon Lord said indifferently. In the future, perhaps you will know why I have such extraordinary means. Lin Feng frowned slightly. In the end, he nodded and didn't say anything. The Demon Lord had too many secrets on his body. It wasn't good for him to ask too much. Once he asked too much, it would arouse the disgust of the Demon Lord, which would be bad. Lin Feng didn't say anything else. Instead, he stood to the side and carefully watched the Demon Lord crack those mysterious runes. After spending about a day's time, the Demon Lord finally cracked the runes on the 4 chains. Kacha 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 kacha. Then, the 4 chains directly split open. Finally, the 4 chains were completely separated. However, Lin Feng found that after the 4 chains were opened, the Dark Bible didn't have any movement. He couldn't help but mutter, could it be that the voice he heard during the Epiphany wasn't the voice of the Dark Bible's spirit? As for the specific situation, Lin Feng couldn't say for sure. The Demon Lord frowned slightly. Then, he sneered and said, "Still not coming out? Could it be that you want me to burn this Bible of darkness?" After hearing the Demon Lord's voice, a sinister voice came from the Dark Bible. "You should know that the Dark Bible can't be destroyed. Even the cycle of eras can't destroy the Dark Bible, let alone a mere demon's soul that doesn't even have a physical body." The Demon Lord said indifferently, "It seems you don't recognize who I am. HM? You are." The voice sounded somewhat bewildered. It seemed to be sizing up the Demon Lord. "It's you!" Next, the voice cried out in alarm. Evidently, the voice had recognized the Demon Lord's identity. Lin Feng couldn't help but think to himself, it's just as I guessed. The Demon Lord has other identities. The most likely possibility is that the Demon Lord is a reincarnation. I wonder who the Demon Lord was in his previous life? "I have something to ask you," the Demon Lord said. The Dark Bible spirit sneered and said, "You have something to ask me? How strange! You and I don't have any friendship. What can you ask me? Besides, even if I know the answer to your question, I have no obligation to tell you. Listen to what I want to ask first. Tell me if you're going to answer my question or not," the Demon Lord said. "What do you want to ask?" the Dark Bible spirit asked with a frown. The Demon Lord's lips moved. It was unknown what he was saying. What a pity. Lin Feng didn't know how to read lips. If Lin Feng knew how to read lips, he would be able to read what the Demon Lord was saying to the Dark Bible spirit. Lin Feng felt somewhat depressed. What did the Demon Lord ask? Why was he hiding it from him? Lin Feng sensed a trace of divine will fluctuation. It should be the Dark Bible spirit communicating with the Demon Lord. Lin Feng tried to capture that godly awareness, but when Lin Feng saw the contents of that godly awareness, he realized something was wrong. Lin Feng was speechless because the spirit of the Dark Holy Bible used an ancient language to communicate with the beast. Lin Feng didn't understand what that language meant. These two fellows were deliberately hiding it from him. Lin Feng felt like his heart was being scratched. He wanted to know what they were talking about, but he had no way of doing so. Lin Feng could only wait at the side. About half an hour passed. The communication between the two ended. Shwa! With a flash of light, an illusory figure appeared. This illusory figure was pitch black, and it was impossible to see what he looked like. However, an extremely evil aura was emanating from his body. This fellow should be the Dark Bible spirit. Lin Feng raised his eyebrows and asked, "You were the one who transmitted your voice to me in the dark space? Kid, your willpower is quite strong. You actually weren't tempted by what I said. However, I've managed to escape. Now I've decided to eat you." Chapter 40:15. The spirit of the Dark Bible was terrifying. After sensing its aura, Lin Feng could not help but feel a suffocating pressure. It was a terrible feeling. Humph! The Demon Lord sneered and blocked the spirit of the Dark Bible. Then, he slapped the spirit with his palm. Bang! He collided with the spirit of the Dark Bible. The two sides were actually evenly matched. This shocked Lin Feng. The Demon Lord had not made a move for a long time, but now it seemed that the Demon Lord's strength had reached such a terrifying level. It was truly inconceivable. What level of combat power was this? Although it was hard to tell, Lin Feng felt that it had surpassed Fan Tao, who was an emperor. Lin Feng still remembered that Emperor Shun's alchemy scroll was very close to the Demon Lord. At that time, Lin Feng had already suspected the Demon Lord and made some guesses about the Demon Lord. Now that he thought about it, Lin Feng could not help but feel apprehensive. Could the demon lord be related to Emperor Shun, one of the 5 emperors of the human race? When he thought of this possibility, Lin Feng could not help but be shocked by his own guess. You dare to stop me? The spirit of the Dark Bible looked at the demon lord with a gloomy expression. The demon lord said, Obediently return to the Dark Bible. That way, you won't have to suffer physical pain. Ha ha! The spirit of the Dark Bible laughed and said, You think too highly of yourself. Do you think you can deal with me? The demon lord said. Of course, then I'll destroy you first. The spirit of the Dark Bible rushed toward the demon lord. Dark order! He unleashed a peerless divine ability. Endless darkness shrouded the demon lord. After the endless darkness, a powerful order law condensed. Between heaven and earth. If there was light, there must be darkness. The power of darkness was everywhere. The order of darkness ruled heaven and earth. Now, the spirit of the Dark Bible had unleashed the Dark Order, a peerless ancient technique. Its power was truly shocking. Anyone who felt this powerful divine ability would feel their hair stand on end. This powerful divine ability was so terrifying that it made people turn pale with fright. However, the demon lord remained indifferent in the face of this divine ability. Light dispels the darkness. I shall become the god of light, illuminate the world. The demon lord's voice fell. In an instant, boundless light gushed out of the demon lord's body. At that moment, his body seemed to have turned transparent. At this moment, the demon lord turned into light. When light descended upon the world, the darkness was destined to be dispelled. Bang! 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 Along with the sounds of violent collisions, there was a loud bang. The two sides engaged in a fierce battle. In the end, the power of light and darkness disappeared together. Light could not completely suppress darkness, but darkness could not truly devour light either. Take one more move from me! The spirit of the Dark Bible sneered as he walked step by step toward the demon lord. Look up to freedom in the darkness, yearn for new life and death. I am the embodiment of darkness, darkness shall corrode everything. After the incantation, a strange power gushed out of the Dark Bible's spirit body. That kind of power was too terrifying. The void was directly torn apart by the corrosion. This is the power to destroy the epic. The demon lord's face revealed an expression of disbelief. He did not expect the spirit of the Dark Bible to possess such power. Lin Feng was shocked. The power to destroy the epic. Didn't that mean that it was a terrifying power that appeared before the epic collapsed? The collapse of the epic. It was directly related to this power. Although that strange power hadn't touched his body yet, he was still able to feel it. However, Lin Feng could already feel the aura of death. The power to destroy the epic was too terrifying. The power of that power was simply unimaginable. Anyone who was enveloped by that power would feel the danger of death. Lin Feng hurriedly took out the ruler's armor. The ruler's armor covered Lin Feng's entire body. Lin Feng relaxed slightly. At that moment, the power to destroy the epic enveloped the demon lord's body. After being enveloped by the power, the demon lord's body began to crack. It was as if it had cracked like porcelain. Damn, the power to destroy the epic is so terrifying. Isn't this too inconceivable? Lin Feng's face revealed an expression of disbelief. He knew very well how powerful the demon lord was. However, such a powerful cultivation base. He was actually unable to resist the power to destroy the epic. This was too inconceivable. The demon lord would not die at the hands of that fellow, would he? If the demon lord died, he would be dead for sure. Hee hee. Now you know how powerful I am, right? The Dark Bible's spirit looked at the demon lord smugly. You are indeed powerful. The demon lord lowered his head and looked at his body that was cracking. If you are willing to become my slave, I can teach you the cultivation method of this power. I can even bring you to that place. The Dark Bible's spirit said. The place that this fellow was talking about, Lin Feng guessed that it was the place where the people behind the scenes lived. Actually, Lin Feng didn't know who those people were, but he didn't know who they were. Were they some kind of living beings? Or were they some kind of law? The Demon Lord and the Dark Bible Spirit both knew, but they would not say it out loud. Not interested, the Demon Lord said with an indifferent expression. You're so stubborn. Go to hell then. The Dark Bible Spirit sneered. Inside his body, a large amount of terrifying power surged out. The power to destroy the epoch was surging violently. Then, it engulfed the Demon Lord. Now that the Demon Lord's body was in pieces, if he took another terrifying attack from this fellow, he would die without a doubt. Open your body, your power and mine become one. The Demon Lord looked at Lin Feng. Lin Feng trusted the Demon Lord unconditionally. He hurriedly removed all of his defenses. Whoosh! The Demon Lord turned into a demonic aura and rushed into Lin Feng's body. The next moment, Lin Feng immediately sensed that the strength in his body was increasing at an incredible speed. After fusing with the Demon Lord's power, Lin Feng's power rose to an unimaginable level. Strong! 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 Lin Feng felt that with a raise of his hand, he could destroy the sky and shatter 10,000 worlds. Now, Lin Feng had the urge to look up to the sky and howl. Could it be? Chapter 40:16. Lin Feng wasn't sure if the Demon Lord's power had reached the level of an immortal's power, but now the two of them were fused. Fusion meant that. It meant that the power of two people fused together to form one person's power. Just like Lin Feng now. So, Lin Feng felt that after he fused with the Demon Lord's power, he should be able to reach the level of an immortal. This kind of fusion technique couldn't be easily used under normal circumstances, because it was very difficult for the cultivator to trust the other party 100%. If one of them had any evil intentions during the fusion, the other party would be killed. Then the other person would be hit by a thunderous blow. But fortunately, this kind of situation wouldn't happen in front of Lin Feng and the Demon Lord. After the fusion, Lin Feng's battle strength soared, and he directly rushed toward the Dark Bible. The power of the era's destruction quickly surged. Previously, Lin Feng was worried that the power of the era's destruction would cause great damage to his body. But soon, Lin Feng's face showed a relieved expression. Because the power of this supreme treasure, the armor of the ruler, was too strong. It directly blocked the power of the era's destruction. As expected of a supreme treasure, it played an extremely crucial role at the critical moment. If he didn't have the armor of the ruler, then it was extremely unrealistic to rely on magic or physical body to block that kind of destructive power. Lin Feng was very clear about this. But now, since the armor of the ruler blocked the power of the era's destruction, this gave Lin Feng a chance to show his skills. Lin Feng rushed in front of the Dark Bible's spirit, and directly punched toward the spirit of the Dark Bible's spirit with a supreme reincarnation fist. Damn it! The spirit of the Dark Bible's expression was very gloomy. His power of the era's destruction was so strong, but now it was blocked by Lin Feng. Naturally, he was extremely depressed. However, this guy's methods were extraordinary. Facing Lin Feng's attack, he used the Dark Demon Fist. Boundless black energy permeated the space between heaven and earth. That black energy was extremely strange. No one knew what kind of strange energy it was. A powerful attack was formed in an instant, and collided with Lin Feng's supreme reincarnation fist. Thump, 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 both of them retreated, and they were evenly matched. Lin Feng was shocked. This guy was really powerful. Even when he merged with the Demon Lord, he still couldn't suppress this guy. It was hard to imagine how strong this guy was. You can't defeat me. I'll give you a chance now. Leave this place immediately, and you can still live. Otherwise, only death awaits you. The spirit of the Dark Bible coldly looked at Lin Feng and said. Clearly, he also knew that Lin Feng's combat strength had skyrocketed after fusing with the Demon Lord, so he didn't want to fight Lin Feng and the Demon Lord to the death right now. This wouldn't do him any good either. In the end, defeating the combination of Lin Feng and the Demon Lord would only result in a lose-lose situation. If I don't destroy you, I won't be able to eat or sleep in peace. Lin Feng sneered. He had no intention of leaving. It would be best if he could destroy this guy. Even if he couldn't, he would seal him again. Because this guy was simply too evil. If he didn't seal him, who knew what this guy would do in the future? At the very least, these fallen angels would definitely suffer a calamity. Stubborn! Then I'll send you all to hell! The spirit of the Dark Bible laughed nastily. Then, a destructive aura spread out from his body. When that aura surged out, Lin Feng couldn't help but reveal a grave expression. This guy's strength was terrifying, but Lin Feng wasn't afraid. He began to chant an incantation. O mighty Tao of Fate, help me break this evil creature's magic. I will represent the justice of this world and dispel all evil in this world. When Lin Feng's voice fell, the power of fate condensed and instantly blasted toward the spirit of the Dark Bible. The power of fate! The spirit of the Dark Bible was shocked. He didn't expect Lin Feng to be able to use the power of fate. It was inconceivable. It was unimaginable. Facing the attack of the power of fate, he didn't dare to be careless. In truth, no one in this world dared to underestimate the power of fate. Once the power of fate was used, it might be able to reverse the situation of any battle. The spirit of the Dark Bible was very clear about this. He hurriedly threw a punch at the power of fate that was surging toward him. Bang! A violent sound of collision was heard. The power of fate instantly broke the attack of the spirit of the Dark Bible. Then, the spirit of the Dark Bible was sent flying. Under Lin Feng's control, the powerful power of fate continued to attack the spirit of the Dark Bible. However, at this moment, the spirit of the Dark Bible summoned the Dark Bible. The Dark Bible floated above his head, emitting a terrifying power that could distort time and space. The Dark Bible itself was a supreme treasure. Now that it was activated by the spirit of the Dark Bible, it unleashed a terrifying power that could suffocate people. The Dark Bible quickly flew toward Lin Feng, colliding with the power of fate that Lin Feng had unleashed in midair. It actually broke Lin Feng's power of fate. The Dark Bible was truly terrifying. Its power was too strong. The demonic sacrificial orb against the Dark Bible! The voice of the demon lord rang out in Lin Feng's mind. Demonic orb, come out! Lin Feng shouted and quickly summoned the demonic orb. The demonic orb was incomparably mysterious. Before this, Lin Feng had been unable to activate the demonic orb to fight. But now, things were different. Lin Feng's power and the power of the demon lord fused together. So, he could now activate the demonic orb. After being activated, the demonic orb released endless demonic light, which then blasted toward the Dark Bible. Bang! It was as if two ancient demonic mountains had collided. It was truly shocking. The demonic orb blocked the Dark Bible's power. It's this thing. It hasn't been destroyed yet. When the spirit of the Dark Bible saw the demonic orb, it was shocked. It clearly recognized the demonic orb's origin. In truth, even Lin Feng did not know much about the demonic orb's origin. However, the spirit of the Dark Bible had a deep understanding of the demonic orb's origin. What's the origin of the demonic orb? Lin Feng asked as he charged toward the Dark Bible. He had asked the demon lord before, but the demon lord had not told him. So, Lin Feng planned to get some information from the spirit of the Dark Bible. Kik, kid, you don't even know the origin of the demonic orb, yet you dare to carry it with you? You're really courting death. Chapter 40:17. Tell me, what's the origin of the demonic orb? Lin Feng continued asking. Ha, kid! Who do you think you are? What makes you think you're qualified to ask me questions? What a joke! The spirit of the Dark Bible burst into laughter, his face full of mockery. If you don't tell me, I'll kill you! Lin Feng sneered and charged at the spirit of the Dark Bible. At present, the Dark Bible was tied down by the demonic orb. The spirit of the Dark Bible could no longer use the Dark Bible to fight, so Lin Feng could only deal with the spirit of the Dark Bible. The spirit of the Dark Bible was powerful. However, Lin Feng was confident that he could deal with the spirit of the Dark Bible. Lin Feng arrived in front of the spirit of the Dark Bible and used the Monarch's Descent, a spell that directly attacked the spirit of the Dark Bible. The spell was so powerful that Lin Feng seemed to have transformed into an unparalleled, immortal monarch, invincible. "Kid! I'll let you know how powerful I am." The spirit of the Dark Bible looked at Lin Feng with an indifferent expression. Then, he used a powerful spell of his own. The spell was called Eternal Instant, and it was also a supreme spell that had never existed since ancient times. It had great destructive power. Bang! Along with the sound of a violent collision, the spells of the two sides collided. The collision between the two was unimaginable. Even the void was shattered by the impact. Then, the two sides were once again evenly matched. "Kid! You won't be able to maintain this fusion state for long. Once the fusion state ends, you'll die a horrible death." The spirit of the Dark Bible sneered, his face full of killing intent. Lin Feng sneered and said, "Before the fusion state ends, I'll have enough time to deal with you." The spirit of the Dark Bible said disdainfully, "What shameless boasting!" As soon as he finished speaking, over a dozen powerful magic treasures were taken out by Lin Feng. Each of the magic treasures contained destructive power. Then, it blasted toward the spirit of the Dark Bible. After seeing so many powerful magic treasures, the spirit of the Dark Bible's expression changed abruptly. However, its reaction was extremely fast in the face of such terrifying attacks. The spirit of the Dark Bible hurriedly took action, condensing a divine ability called the Infinite Dark Wave. With the Dark Bible as the center, waves of dark power surged out from his body. The surges of dark energy actually formed a dark wave. Rumble! 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 A loud explosion shook the heavens. The waves of darkness were like huge waves in the sea, sweeping across the world and releasing a shocking impact. "It's useless. No matter how powerful your ability is, it's absolutely impossible for you to withstand the attacks of so many of my magical treasures," Lin Feng sneered. Bang, bang, bang! Lin Feng's dozens of magical weapons suddenly collided with the attack of the Dark Bible's spirit. The spirit of the Dark Bible's spirit was very powerful. However, under the combined attack of Lin Feng's many magical treasures, it was far from enough. The divine ability of the Dark Bible was instantly destroyed by Lin Feng's dozens of magical treasures. Then, Lin Feng's dozens of magical treasures bombarded the spirit of the Dark Bible. The spirit of the Dark Bible was sent flying. "Damn it! A dragon in the shallows is toyed with by shrimps, and a tiger in the plains is bullied by dogs." The spirit of the Dark Bible roared angrily after being sent flying. This guy was obviously very unconvinced. Lin Feng sneered and said, "Are you a dragon? At most, you're a little black snake. Are you a tiger? At most, you're a lynx. How dare a piece of trash like you act all high and mighty in front of me? Shameless people are truly invincible." Mocked by Lin Feng like this, the spirit of the Dark Bible was so angry that it trembled all over. For countless years, who dared to mock it like this? Although its current cultivation was not as high as it used to be, it was still a high and mighty existence. Hearing Lin Feng's mockery was simply unbearable. "Kid, don't be so smug. I'll make sure you die a horrible death later." The spirit of the Dark Bible glared at Lin Feng fiercely. Then, it flew toward the Dark Bible. It wanted to become one with the Dark Bible. Once it became one with the Dark Bible, the spirit of the Dark Bible would combine with the power of the Dark Bible, and its combat power would be greatly increased. Lin Feng naturally had to stop the spirit of the Dark Bible. Under his control, dozens of powerful magical treasures instantly intercepted the spirit of the Dark Bible. Then, they bombarded the spirit of the Dark Bible with indiscriminate attacks. The spirit of the Dark Bible was severely injured, and its body began to crack. Lin Feng rushed forward and used the 8 God-sealing seals, wanting to seal this guy. Dense runes flew out and flew toward the spirit of the Dark Bible. Those runes moved toward the spirit of the Dark Bible, wanting to seal the spirit of the Dark Bible. "Break! The spirit of the Dark Bible shouted coldly and threw a punch at those runes. However, the runes that Lin Feng had unleashed were branded on the spirit of the Dark Bible like maggots. The spirit of the Dark Bible kept struggling, but it was unable to break free. 8 God-sealing seals. This is the legacy of the Celestial Master Path. Kid. So, you and that world have long been connected. The spirit of the Dark Bible roared. Lin Feng was shocked. What did this guy mean? Lin Feng felt that the world he was talking about was very likely the place where the mastermind lived. However, this guy saw his 8 God-sealing seals and said that he had long been connected to that world. Could it be that the Celestial Master Path has something to do with that world? If this conjecture was true, it would be too shocking. I'll search your soul in a moment. I'll find out all your secrets. Lin Feng looked at the spirit of the Dark Bible with an indifferent expression. He did not ask this guy what he wanted to know. Lin Feng knew that even if he asked, it would be pointless. This guy would not answer him at all. It was better to wait until he sealed this guy and then search his soul. That would be the most direct way. Kid, you'll never know what you want to know. The spirit of the Dark Bible roared. The spirit of the Dark Bible roared, and his body began to burn fiercely. When Lin Feng saw that, he was astonished. What is this guy trying to do? Is he trying to burn himself? Is that necessary? Said Lin Feng, waving his hand and summoning a heavy rain. The downpour poured on the spirit of the Dark Bible, but it was unable to extinguish the flames on his body. Chapter 4018. F***CK. He actually self-immolated. What a scam! Lin Feng immediately shouted gloomily. Whoosh! With a flash of light, the demon lord flew out of Lin Feng's body. He said, "This guy is not dead. It's just that his body has become illusory. He is a spiritual body, and he has already fused with the Dark Bible. After some time, he will be lively again." Hearing this, Lin Feng nodded and said, "If that's the case, we still have to reseal the 4 chains?" The demon lord nodded and said, "That's right." Naturally, this task could only be left to the demon lord. The runes on the chains were too complicated, and Lin Feng was still unable to deal with them. Only the demon lord could deal with them. While the demon lord was resealing the Dark Bible, Lin Feng began to comprehend the demonic scripture that he had obtained earlier. After spending about a day, the demon lord finally resealed the chains. Lin Feng did not ask what the demon lord had asked that guy, because he knew that even if Lin Feng asked, the demon lord would not tell him. If the demon lord wanted to say something, he would say it himself. There was no need for Lin Feng to ask him. "Are you planning to give the Dark Bible to the fallen angels?" the demon lord asked Lin Feng. "What else can I do?" Lin Feng shrugged and said, "The Dark Bible belongs to the fallen angels." "Fine. It's inauspicious to keep it on me. I just need the complete cultivation method of the Dark Bible," the demon lord said. Whoosh! A flash of light. The demon lord returned. It then flew back into the demonic orb. After exiting his closed-door training, Lin Feng returned the Dark Bible to Nalin Xiong. The secrets hidden within the Dark Bible were not something that could be discovered just because one wanted to. However, Lin Feng had already obtained the cultivation method for the Dark Bible. This sort of harvest made Lin Feng extremely satisfied. Of course, Lin Feng had only obtained half of the Dark Bible's secret manual. Moreover, it was the second half. He would have to wait until Lin Feng found the second half of the Dark Bible before he could study it. After Lin Feng came out of seclusion, he planned to rest for a few days before heading to the fallen angel race's ancestral land. Right now, this clan land was only a temporary foothold for the Nalin family. If they were able to regain their power in the future, it was possible for them to return to their ancestral land. If he couldn't regain his power, then he could only stay here forever. Lin Feng discovered that Nalin Manqing had not appeared, but he did not know why. Previously, Nalin Manqing was very enthusiastic towards him. Lin Feng didn't think too much about it. After resting for a few days in the Naylin family's ancestral land, Lin Feng set out for the fallen angel race's ancestral land. Before leaving, Naylin Qiong had already given him the place where the second half of the Dark Bible was placed, as well as the token to enter that place. Lin Feng arrived at the fallen state. The fallen state got its name because the fallen angel race was located here. The Naylin family of the fallen angel race's patriarch family had completely declined. The remaining 4 great families were also not peaceful. The 4 great families were fighting over the position of the new patriarch. So, they were now locked in a fierce struggle. Moreover, the 4 great families had fought several times, resulting in heavy casualties. After arriving at the fallen state, Lin Feng heard the news of the 4 great families fighting each other. After hearing this news, Lin Feng couldn't help but shake his head slightly. It seemed that the fallen angel race was about to fall apart. However, what was the current situation of the 4 great families? Lin Feng arrived at the fallen angel race's ancestral land. The fallen angel race's ancestral land was located in the fallen ancient forest. There were 5 huge mountain ranges here. The central mountain range was originally under the control of the Naylin family. However, it had long been ruined. In the other 4 mountain ranges, the Dongfang family, Murong family, Situ family, and Helian family were located respectively. The mountain ranges where the 4 great families were located were covered by powerful restrictions. The people of the 4 great families were obviously worried that the other party would suddenly attack their hinterland and eventually exterminate them. In addition to the powerful restrictions, there were many cultivators of the 4 great families patrolling above the 4 mountain ranges. Before coming here, Lin Feng had heard the news that the 4 great families had stopped fighting. The continuous fighting had caused them to suffer heavy losses. Therefore, the 4 great families were now planning to use the arena duel. Each of the 4 great families could send 3 powerhouses to participate in the arena duel. The 12 powerhouses of the 4 great families would fight one-on-one until the final winner was decided. Whichever clan the victor was from, in the end, the new clan leader would be from that clan. This method was relatively fair. Currently, the chosen powerhouses of the 4 great families were in seclusion to adjust their states because the war would break out in 3 days. Lin Feng had no interest in the war between the 4 great families. His purpose for coming here was the Dark Bible. If he obtained the Dark Bible, Lin Feng would immediately leave this place. Above the mountain range, there was a huge universal mirror that searched the heavens. If anyone wanted to sneak into the fallen angel race's ancestral land, they would immediately be discovered by the universal mirror. This universal mirror could stump countless people, but it couldn't stump Lin Feng. Lin Feng flicked his finger. Suddenly, the power of destiny entered the universal mirror. Lin Feng used the power of destiny to block the universal mirror's detection. This trick had been tested repeatedly. This was also the reason why Lin Feng dared to swagger into the ancestral lands of those top forces. As long as he blocked the universal mirror, demon revealing mirror, and other supreme treasures, it would be very difficult for anyone to discover Lin Feng's tracks. Lin Feng hid in the mountain range where the Naylin family was originally located. The palace here had already been destroyed. A deep roar suddenly rang out. Following that, a ferocious beast pounced at Lin Feng. This ferocious beast was actually a saber-toothed tiger. Its speed was as fast as lightning. Lin Feng killed the saber-toothed tiger with a single punch. Soon, Lin Feng discovered that many ferocious beasts had appeared in this place. Lin Feng couldn't help but mutter. After this place was abandoned, could it have become a place where the 4 great families reared ferocious beasts? The more Lin Feng thought about it, the more he felt that this was a possibility. It didn't take long for Lin Feng to arrive at a valley deep in the mountain range. There was a mechanism deep in the valley. By activating the mechanism, one could enter the cave where the Dark Bible was kept. But when Lin Feng arrived, he noticed that there were many gigantic dragons resting in the valley. Dragons? There are over 100 dragons. What's going on? Lin Feng could not help but frown. These dragons were very powerful. They didn't seem like captive dragons at all. Although the fallen angel race was powerful, the fallen angel race didn't have the ability to rear over 100 dragons, right? There was something fishy about this whole situation. Chapter 40:19. Lin Feng narrowed his eyes as he looked at these people. He was trying to figure out their purpose for coming here. The group of people stopped outside the Dragon Valley. They were all cultivators of the fallen angel race, and there were both men and women. One of the female cultivators said, "Dark Dragon King, our 4 clans are going to hold a competition. We intend to invite the Great Master to host the competition for us. Can you contact the Great Master?" As soon as the female cultivator finished speaking, a huge dragon flew out. The dragon exuded an intimidating aura. It was a Western dragon, but its entire body was as black as ink. His body emitted a cold aura. Anyone who felt the aura emitted by this existence would feel a sense of suffocation. It was definitely an extremely terrifying existence. Humph! When would the Great Master have the time to participate in your battle? The most important thing now is to find the Dark Bible, not fight among yourselves. The Dark Dragon King said coldly. Lin Feng, who was hiding in the dark, was slightly shocked. These fellows had a master? The 4 clans of the fallen angels did not attack the Patriarch's clan just to fight for the Patriarch's position? There was actually a deeper reason. For example, the mysterious Great Master. Behind the whole thing, was there actually a pair of invisible hands directing all of this? At this thought, Lin Feng could not help but feel shocked. If that was really the case, it would be too shocking. However, he did not know who was this Great Master behind the scenes. Another fallen angel said coldly, "Dark Dragon King! We'll lend you this place to recuperate. Don't fail to appreciate our kindness. Or else, we have the right to chase you out." Chase me out? How laughable. If it wasn't for me, would you have had the chance to know the Great Master? It was me who introduced you lowly fellows to the Great Master. Now you want to burn the bridge after crossing the river? The Dark Dragon King said with a cold smile. His eyes flickered with killing intent. Dark Dragon King! You must remember this. If it weren't for us, you are now trapped in the Forbidden God world, and we are the ones who rescued you from there. An old man said with a cold smile. Lin Feng understood the ins and outs of the situation. The Forbidden God realm had already cracked open. Since the Forbidden God realm was already cracked open, cultivators who grasped the spatial coordinates of the cracked areas would be able to freely enter and exit the Forbidden God realm. However, if they wanted to enter and exit the Forbidden God realm freely, they would have to be careful. It was likely that the 4 great families had entered the Forbidden God world without the Nalan family's knowledge. Then, they released the Dark Dragon King and the others who were trapped in the Forbidden God world. As for this Dark Dragon King, he knew an extremely terrifying existence. Lin Feng guessed. The existence that the Dark Dragon King knew was most likely trapped in the Forbidden God realm. Therefore, the Dark Dragon King led the people of the 4 major clans to rescue that terrifying existence. As a result, the 4 great clans were highly regarded by that existence. After that terrifying existence came out and learned about the Dark Bible, he wanted to get his hands on the Dark Bible. After that, the 4 great families proposed to the Nalan family to view the Dark Bible, but were rejected by the Nalan family. With the support of that terrifying existence, the 4 great families decided to overthrow the Nalan family's rule. Then they would obtain the Dark Bible that had always been in the Nalan family's possession and offer it to that terrifying existence. However, they did not know where that terrifying existence was and what kind of life form that terrifying existence was. Both sides started arguing. At this moment, the void distorted, and a mysterious existence shrouded in darkness appeared. Master! After seeing this existence, the group hurriedly bowed to this mysterious existence. I was absorbing the space-time energy in a parallel space to recover my cultivation. I heard all of you arguing. Why are you arguing? The mysterious existence asked. His voice was extremely hoarse, unpleasant, and ear-piercing. The female cultivator said, Replying to Master, our 4 great clans have decided to fight it out. The one who reaches the end will become the new patriarch of the Fallen Angel clan. Only by uniting the Fallen Angel clan can we better contribute to Master. TSK, this woman's words are quite good. Lin Feng could not help but mutter. All right. I will come over when the time comes, the mysterious existence said. Thank you, Master. The fallen angels hurriedly expressed their gratitude. Swoosh! With a flash of light, the mysterious existence disappeared without a trace. That fellow is indeed an expert trapped in the Forbidden God realm. He still has the aura of the Forbidden God realm on him. Lin Feng could not help but mutter to himself. That existence's aura was extremely terrifying. He had been trapped in the Forbidden God realm for who knew how many years, but he was still so powerful. It was truly inconceivable. Moreover, that fellow's aura was extremely strange. First of all, that fellow was not from the epic lost race. This was because Lin Feng did not sense the aura of the epic lost race from that fellow. That fellow was also not from the other world. Lin Feng also did not sense the aura of the other world from that fellow. Who is he? His aura is even more evil than the aura of the netherworld. It's even more terrifying. Lin Feng furrowed his brows. Ha! Dark Dragon King, Master has already agreed to participate in the grand competition of the 4 races. We know why you didn't help us contact Master. It's because Master has ordered us to do many things, not you. However, when you think about it, you dark dragons are traitors of the dragon race. There are many dragon race experts in the great heavenly sage world's demon alliance. I've heard that those dragon race experts can even communicate with the dragon world. During this period of time, it's not good for you to go out casually. If the demon alliance finds out, you won't be able to avoid a lot of trouble. Are you worried that we will steal your position in Master's heart? Is that why you're making things difficult for us? Actually, you don't have to do this at all. Haven't you noticed that Master has long thought highly of us? One of the fallen angels laughed heartily, directly sprinkling salt on the Dark Dragon King's wound. You! The Dark Dragon King's gaze turned cold. He was extremely sullen. He had been trapped in the Forbidden God realm for too long, and his cultivation had long fallen. Chapter 40-20. Many factions had their own schemes, such as the 4 great clans of the Fallen Angels and the Dark Dragon King. While they were on guard against each other, they were also attacking each other. The group of Fallen Angels didn't stay here any longer. They quickly flew away into the distance. Their speed was extremely fast. In the blink of an eye, they had already disappeared without a trace. As for the Dark Dragon King, he returned to the Dragon Valley with a gloomy expression. The Dark Dragon King is in the Dragon Valley. That fellow is extremely powerful. If I enter the Dragon Valley, I will definitely be discovered by him. Lin Feng could not help but frown. It was unrealistic for him to sneak into the Dragon Valley right now. He needed to think of another plan. I wonder if the Dark Dragon King will attend the grand competition of the 4 great clans? If he does, then it will be the best time to make a move. Lin Feng narrowed his eyes. As long as the Dark Dragon King left, Lin Feng believed that with his means, it would not be a problem for him to hide from everyone. It would be too difficult for the other dragons to discover him. The only problem was whether the Dark Dragon King would go and watch the competition. Lin Feng planned to wait for a few days and observe the situation. It would be best if the Dark Dragon King went to watch the competition. If the Dark Dragon King did not go, then he would have to think of another plan. Thinking about that, Lin Feng couldn't help taking a deep breath. He had hidden himself. He began to wait for the day of the competition. Time passed quickly. In the blink of an eye, the day of the competition arrived. That mysterious existence had appeared here. Master! The Dark Dragon King flew out and transformed into a man who looked to be in his 30s. He then bowed to the mysterious person. How long have we known each other? The mysterious existence asked. We have known each other since the primordial era when we were sealed, the Dark Dragon King said. The mysterious person nodded. Although we are superior and subordinate, we are also friends. However, we are different from those people. Those people are merely pawns in my eyes, the mysterious person said. Hearing this, the Dark Dragon King's eyes lit up. Yes. This subordinate will remember, the Dark Dragon King hurriedly said. Let's go. Let's go and bear witness to the power struggle between the 4 clans. Yes, master, the Dark Dragon King replied. Next, the Dark Dragon King followed this mysterious existence and left quickly. This guy really knows how to buy people's hearts. Lin Feng narrowed his eyes as he watched the mysterious existence leave with the Dark Dragon King. Then, he curled his lips. Fortunately, the Dark Dragon King finally left with that mysterious existence. When the mysterious being and the Dark Dragon King had completely disappeared, Lin Feng immediately used the Great Void technique to hide in the void and sneak towards the Dragon Valley. The dragons in the Dragon Valley were all extremely evil dragons. For example, the Poison Dragon, Evil Dragon, Green Dragon, Evil Dragon, and other giant dragons. Those enormous dragons all had one thing in common. That was, those enormous dragons all belonged to the category of Dark Enormous Dragons. These dragons should have been subordinates of the Dark Dragon King. However, they had been sealed in the Forbidden God realm for too long. It was already pretty good that he was able to survive until now. Of course, even though he had survived until now, his strength had greatly decreased. There was no way he could be compared to when he was at his peak. Lin Feng's Great Void technique was indeed worthy of being called one of the 3,000 Great Das. The Great Void technique helped Lin Feng to hide in the void. He freely traversed through the void. The enormous dragons in the Dragon Valley were unable to discover Lin Feng's traces. Lin Feng sneaked all the way into the depths of the Dragon Valley. Finally, he arrived at the deepest location. The deepest location was originally the resting place of the Dark Dragon King. Ordinary enormous dragons would not dare to come here without permission. When Lin Feng arrived at the deepest location, it was very quiet. Those enormous dragons were all in the outer region or the central region. Even the heavens are helping me. When he saw that there were no other enormous dragons here, Lin Feng smiled. If there were other enormous dragons here, there was a certain chance that he would be discovered. At that time, a great battle would be inevitable. If he alarmed the other enormous dragons, that mysterious expert, the Dark Dragon King, who had fallen from the angel race, would definitely be attracted over. But now, Lin Feng did not have to worry about this problem at all. He set up several concealment restrictions and sealed the deepest location. Then, Lin Feng took out a keepsake. The keepsake that Nalin Qiong gave Lin Feng was a piece of stone. This piece of stone was actually very ordinary. It was just an ordinary mountain rock. However, there were many runes engraved on the stone. This stone was dug out from the cliff. Lin Feng needed to find a place where this stone was perfectly compatible with the wall. When the time came, he would press the stone into the wall. The place where the second half of the Dark Bible was placed would automatically open. When the time came, Lin Feng would be able to enter. Found it! Not long after, Lin Feng found the place on a cliff. The cliff was more than 10 meters above the ground. Lin Feng put the stone with the talisman in his hand into the hole. Kacha 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 sounds could be heard. The cliff in front of him actually opened up on its own, revealing a cave with a diameter of more than 3 meters. Lin Feng looked into the cave. It was pitch black and emitted a gloomy and terrifying aura. Lin Feng frowned. This cave seemed to be the place where the Dark Bible was placed. He wondered if there was any danger inside. After all, the first half of the Dark Bible contained a spirit. Moreover, the spirit of the first half of the Dark Bible was so powerful. If he had not merged with the Demon Lord and had many powerful treasures on him, he might not have been able to deal with the spirit of the first half of the Dark Bible. Lin Feng carefully walked into the cave. It was pitch black inside the cave. It was very quiet. Only the sound of Lin Feng's footsteps could be heard. Lin Feng could even hear the sound of his own breathing. Finally, Lin Feng came to the depths of the cave. There was a huge belly of the mountain here. In the middle of the belly of the mountain, there was a platform. There was an ancient book placed on the platform. It was the Dark Bible. Found it! A smile appeared on Lin Feng's face. He quickly rushed toward the Dark Bible. When he came to the edge of the platform, Lin Feng stopped. He looked at the platform and frowned. Why did the ancestors of the Nayland clan build a platform? Was it just to place the Dark Bible? They were really going all out. Chapter 40-21. Lin Feng stepped onto the platform and walked toward the Dark Bible. However, Lin Feng soon discovered that something was amiss. The entire platform was emanating waves of dark power. The densely packed runes on the platform seemed to have come to life. Oh no, something's wrong! Lin Feng's expression suddenly changed. He rushed toward the outside of the platform, but at that moment, a blood-colored ring of light rose from the platform. Bang! Lin Feng's body slammed into the blood-colored ring of light. In an instant, Lin Feng was bounced back. Damn! What's going on? Lin Feng could not help but roll his eyes. Next, he discovered that the Dark Bible was trembling violently. Then, a black pillar of light rushed out of the Dark Bible. A figure was floating in the middle of the black light pillar. Spirit! The spirit of the Dark Bible! Lin Feng couldn't help but take a deep breath. As expected, the second half of the Dark Holy Bible had its own spirit, but it was different from the first half. The second half spirit was a woman. Moreover, this spirit was not locked within the Dark Bible. The spirit of the first half of the Dark Bible was locked within the Dark Bible by 4 chains because the spirit of the first half of the Dark Bible was simply too evil. If that person were to be allowed to escape, who knew how terrifying the massacre would be? Thus, the spirit had simply locked that person within the Dark Bible. The spirit of the second half of the Dark Bible was not locked within the Dark Bible. Did this mean that the spirit of the second half of the Dark Bible was not as terrifying and evil as he had imagined? Perhaps that was true. Lin Feng could not help but breathe a sigh of relief when he thought of that. How many years has it been since someone came here? The spirit said. The spirit opened her mouth to speak. Her voice was very pleasant to the ears. It was crisp and lively. Lin Feng was very excited. A spirit with such a pleasant voice must be a kind spirit, right? The spirit raised her head and looked at Lin Feng. Her hair was disheveled, but even so, Lin Feng could still clearly see her appearance. That was a face so delicate that it could be broken by the wind. Beautiful, too beautiful. So beautiful that it was suffocating. Such a beautiful woman was definitely a goddess-like existence. There was no justice in this world. Such a beautiful woman was only a spirit. How good would it be if she was a human? I'm here to save you, Lin Feng said. You're from the Sovereign Clan, the woman said to Lin Feng. Lin Feng was shocked. This woman was really amazing. She actually recognized his identity at a glance. That's right. Do you know one of my ancestors? Lin Feng asked curiously. Ji Zishu. Do you know him? The woman asked. Lin Feng naturally knew of Ji Zishu. Back then, he was someone who had punched through the undying realm with a single punch. It was a pity. This ancestor of his. In the end, he had died. Lin Feng said. Of course I know of Ancestor Ji Zishu. How do you know Ancestor Ji Zishu? Hee. Back then, the second half of the Dark Bible was in the hands of one of Ji Zishu's close female friends. How do you think I know Ji Zishu? The woman said. Ancestor Ji Zishu's close female friends? Isn't that the 8th Underworld King? Is the second half of the Dark Bible in the hands of the 8th Underworld King? Lin Feng was puzzled. Actually, Lin Feng had always felt that the Sovereign Clan's bloodline was not passed down by Ji Zishu. Because the 8th Underworld King had not had any children with Ji Zishu, Lin Feng had always felt that Ji Zishu had other siblings. And the bloodline of the Sovereign Clan was passed down by Ji Zishu's siblings. However, it seemed that there was something else going on. Back then, the 8th Underworld King had already died. Ji Zixu went to that world to do something very important, the woman said. Lin Feng's spirit suddenly rose. He knew that the world the woman was talking about should be the world where the mastermind lived. The destruction of epochs and the birth of new ones were caused by the mastermind. Ji Zixu's actions were in hopes of stopping all of this so that the epochs would not change and the living beings in the universe would be able to survive. However, Ji Zixu was injured while trying to save the 8th Underworld King. That was why he did not succeed, and all his efforts were in vain. What did he experience in that world? Lin Feng asked. He experienced too many things. Later on, he was on the verge of death and was saved by my master. My master is very similar to the 8th Underworld King, the woman recalled. During that time, Ji Zixu's soul was injured. That's why he was like a walking corpse. However, I really don't know why my master is so fond of him. Moreover, she even gave birth to a child. What the? Lin Feng rolled his eyes. He had not expected things to turn out this way. Perhaps the cries of the newborn woke him up. He finally woke up. The woman sighed. The woman sighed. He feels very guilty for what he did to the 8th Underworld King and my master. Moreover, he has his own things that he needs to do. Eliminate the mastermind. Lin Feng took a deep breath. That's an unimaginable existence. My master advised him not to go, but he still decided to go. The greater the power, the greater the responsibility. The greater the power, the greater the responsibility, Lin Feng muttered. He could not help but smile bitterly when he heard this. Ancestor Ji Zixu. It was all because of this one-life creed. His life was incomparably tragic. He went to that place and never returned. I heard that he failed. He was so close to succeeding. However, he still failed in the end because his injuries were never healed. This set the stage for his failure. Later on, my master's clan was attacked, and everyone died. Only my master brought their child and escaped from that world. The woman sighed. Rumor has it that the Bible of Darkness came from that world. Was that when you were brought out? Lin Feng asked. Yes. The woman nodded. What happened after that? Lin Feng asked. Later on, my master found the ancestral land of the sovereign emperor clan and raised their child. However, the people from that world still came. The woman revealed a sorrowful expression. I escorted the young master away. My master lured those people away. From then on, I never saw my master again. I think my master must have died in their hands. Chapter 40-22. The questions you asked are too sensitive. I can't answer you, especially now that the age of chaos has arrived. They must have awakened. If I tell them, they'll sense it. When that time comes, we'll all die. Lin Feng frowned. He couldn't say anything. He felt helpless, but he couldn't say anything. This was because the things this woman was afraid of had to be dealt with seriously. If they were discovered by those terrifying existences, they would definitely die without a burial ground. No one was willing to see such an outcome. Lin Feng said, Since you can't talk about this, can you tell me what happened after you escorted Ancestor Ji Zixu's son away? The woman said, Many things happened. Those existences still didn't give up. They continued to search for Ji Zixu's descendant. Later, I sealed little young master's bloodline and entrusted it to an ordinary family. Then I left and lured away those who had been pursuing little young master. After that, a great battle broke out between me and those people. I was injured and fell into space-time turbulence. When I woke up again, I was already in the ancestral land of the fallen angels. The fallen angels have the first half of the Dark Bible here. They relied on the first half of the Dark Bible to find me. Because my soul was injured, the ancestor of the fallen angels set up a doubt platform here, allowing me to absorb the power of the unveil underground to recover. Countless years passed until you came, Lin Feng said. It seems that my little ancestor awakened his bloodline later on. Little young master's talent is very powerful. Awakening his bloodline is only a matter of time. the woman said. We can't stay here for long. We should leave this place as soon as possible, Lin Feng said. The woman nodded. Then, she turned into a ray of light and flew into the Dark Bible. South. The Dark Bible then flew into Lin Feng's space-time domain. Lin Feng quickly flew outside. He walked out of the cave, then used the Great Void technique to conceal himself in the void and flew into the distance. At this moment, the Emperor-level experts of the fallen angels' 4 bloodlines were engaged in a great battle. The mysterious cultivator sat on the main seat, watching the battle in the arena. Suddenly, the mysterious cultivator narrowed his eyes and looked into the distance. Master, what is it? The Dark Dragon King noticed some changes in this mysterious being and asked curiously. I can sense the aura of the Dark Bible, the mysterious existence said. Whoosh! The next moment, the mysterious existence disappeared without a trace. Lin Feng left the ancestral land of the fallen angels. His trip was relatively smooth. He quickly rushed into the distance. His speed was extremely fast. He had already left the ancestral land of the fallen angels. However, Lin Feng was still not at ease. It was mainly because that mysterious existence made Lin Feng feel uneasy. He didn't know who that guy was, but no matter what his identity was, he was definitely an unimaginably terrifying existence. Therefore, Lin Feng wanted to leave this place as soon as possible. Suddenly, Lin Feng's eyes narrowed. He saw the top of an ancient tree in the distance. There was actually a cultivator standing there. That cultivator was none other than the mysterious cultivator Lin Feng had seen before. He actually chased me all the way here. Lin Feng was horrified. He had left without a sound, but that guy had still discovered him. Furthermore, he had chased him all the way here. Lin Feng turned around and rushed in another direction. That guy was too strong. Lin Feng had no intention of fighting him. Lin Feng pushed his speed to the limit. 8 minor worlds appeared beneath his feet. Lin Feng seemed to be shuttling through the 8 minor worlds. Lin Feng's speed was at the peak. Every step he took seemed to be shuttling through 8 minor worlds. However, Lin Feng still couldn't shake off that terrifying existence. That terrifying existence chased after him. His voice was extremely cold. A member of the sovereign imperial clan. You are the descendant of that person from back then, you are someone from that world. Lin Feng couldn't help but take a deep breath. He couldn't be sure whether this person was from that world or not. However, some of the words that this person had said, indeed, it was very easy for Lin Feng to guess. This person was from that world. Lin Feng was extremely shocked. After all, that world was simply too mysterious. Yet, a person from that world had actually appeared here. It was truly inconceivable. Lin Feng didn't know much about that world. However, from the limited information he had gathered, he knew that there were people from that world. That world. There should be different levels of people in that world. The mastermind should be that world's sovereign imperial clan. If this person was really from that world, he should be a subordinate of that mastermind. Moreover, this person seemed to have been suppressed in the forbidden divine world since the primordial era. Could this person be one of those who had chased after Jizishu's son back then? Keek. That's right, kid. It seems like you know quite a lot. You actually know that I'm from that world. Did you hear it from Han Xian? The terrifying existence said in a sinister tone. Han Xian? Who's Han Xian? Lin Feng couldn't help but ask. The spirit of the second half of the Dark Bible is called Han Xian. Didn't you obtain the second half of the Dark Bible? Didn't you see Han Xian? That shouldn't be the case. You are a descendant of the sovereign imperial clan. Han Xian will definitely come out to meet you. Could it be that Han Xian is already dead? The terrifying existence said. Lin Feng said. Sir, I'm afraid you sense wrongly. I don't have the Dark Bible on me. The terrifying existence said sinisterly. Kid, don't try to trick me. I can't sense the aura of the Dark Bible wrongly. It must be on you. Hand over the Dark Bible now, and I can give you a quick death. If you don't cooperate with me, I have 1,000 ways to make you suffer a fate worse than death. Haha, my reinforcements are here. Lin Feng looked behind the terrifying existence. He wanted to lie to this fellow, and then instantly leave through space. However, this terrifying existence didn't even turn his head. His expression was incomparably cold. Instead, he looked at Lin Feng with a mocking expression. He did not fall for Lin Feng's trick at all. This made Lin Feng feel rather depressed. It really wasn't easy to deceive this guy. Kid, you won't be able to escape. Just wait to die at my hands. Chapter 40-23. The sudden increase in speed gave Lin Feng a huge fright. It was simply too fast. Lin Feng discovered that this fellow's speed was much faster than his. This was going to be troublesome. However, Lin Feng had other options. He still had the Tao of space that he had yet to use. Lin Feng used the world of 8 directions and the Tao of space to increase his speed. As expected, Lin Feng's speed began to increase greatly. Faster, faster, faster. Lin Feng's speed reached the limit, and he once again pulled away from the terrifying existence. Brat! I really didn't expect you to have such speed with your cultivation. However, you won't be able to shake me off. If we continue to exhaust each other like this, you'll be exhausted very soon. At that time, I'll be able to catch up to you. At that time, I'll be able to torture you however I want, the terrifying existence said in a sinister tone. F***ck your entire family. Lin Feng rolled his eyes. This fellow's wishful thinking was quite good. Kid, think about what will happen when you fall into my hands. The terrifying existence continued. He wanted to use words to disturb Lin Feng's heart. This was a psychological warfare. Once the psychological fluctuations were too great, many people's condition would be greatly affected. Speed! Perhaps, it would also weaken greatly. Lin Feng sneered. How laughable. You haven't even caught me, and you're already fantasizing about it. Coming from that world, it's really sad to end up like you. You! When Lin Feng made fun of him, he looked furious. He had been imprisoned in the forbidden godly world for so many years. He had been at death's door for so many years, but he had survived. This had always been a pain in his heart. Lin Feng continued to mock. What? Am I wrong? Being suppressed in the forbidden realm for so many years wasn't a good feeling, was it? In the end, you were still rescued. How embarrassing. Back then, even in that world, you were considered a lowly existence, right? No matter how lowly I am, I'm still many times nobler than you. The existence sneered. Brag. Continue to brag. Don't you feel embarrassed when you brag? My ancestor almost got rid of the mastermind behind the scenes. How can trash like you be compared to my clan? You actually have the nerve to say that you're nobler than me by who knows how many times. I feel embarrassed for you. Trash like you don't even have the taste of carrying my shoes. Lin Feng curled his lips and said, Brat, I'll kill you. This terrifying existence angrily roared. He originally wanted to verbally attack Lin Feng, but instead of accomplishing his goal, he was greatly provoked by Lin Feng. Now, Lin Feng had hit the one thing that this existence was most unwilling to accept, the one thing that he didn't want to face the most, and the humiliation had turned into anger. He was even thinking about how to torture Lin Feng after capturing him. Killing Lin Feng right away would be letting him off too easily. He didn't want to kill Lin Feng right away. It would be best if he could torture Lin Feng until Lin Feng knelt on the ground and kowtowed while begging for mercy. Then, he would kill Lin Feng. He began to increase his speed, madly burning his magic power to increase his speed. This guy was indeed worthy of being from that world. He actually had a way to increase his speed in a short period of time. He quickly chased after Lin Feng. When Lin Feng saw the increase in speed, his expression turned solemn. At this rate, this guy would catch up to him sooner or later. This was really troublesome. 6 hours later, the terrifying existence was only 400 to 500 meters away from Lin Feng. At such a close distance, This guy could already release a powerful attack on Lin Feng. Boom, boom, boom. All kinds of powerful attacks were released by this terrifying existence, and those attacks were all aimed at Lin Feng. Lin Feng took out the ruler's armor to protect himself, and at the same time, he quickly dodged the attacks of those attacks. Although he dodged the attacks of those attacks, the huge shock wave produced when those attacks exploded hit Lin Feng. It still sent Lin Feng flying. The only thing to be thankful for was that Lin Feng wasn't injured after withstanding those powerful attacks. After all, the distance was still a bit far, and with the powerful defense of the ruler's armor, it wasn't a problem to block that guy's attack. However, that guy quickly chased after him, and in the blink of an eye, he had already rushed to Lin Feng. This guy was very good at grasping the timing of a battle. Boy, let's see how you block this king's palm. This terrifying existence looked at Lin Feng with a sinister smile, and a palm blasted towards Lin Feng. That terrifying palm contained the power to destroy heaven and earth, and it instantly blasted towards Lin Feng. After feeling the terrifying aura of that palm, Lin Feng's face suddenly revealed an incomparably shocked expression. The power contained in that palm was really too powerful and terrifying. It made him feel a sense of suffocation. Such a terrifying attack made Lin Feng feel extremely shocked. Lin Feng didn't resist this terrifying attack head-on, but used the heaven patching technique. Swish. At the critical moment, Lin Feng disappeared without a trace. In the next moment, Lin Feng appeared 200 meters away. This divine ability is somewhat interesting. This terrifying existence revealed a surprised expression, but then he sneered. This kind of divine ability usually has many restrictions. Boy, you still can't escape the fate of death. As soon as his voice fell, he rushed towards Lin Feng again. This guy had completely locked onto Lin Feng. Now, Lin Feng had no way to avoid it. It was better to fight this guy to the death. Cold killing intent flashed in Lin Feng's eyes. He had many magic treasures, and he wanted to see if he could ask the Demon Lord to help him later. If the Demon Lord agreed to help, he might be able to fight this terrifying existence in front of him. Even if he wasn't a match for this terrifying existence, when the time came, he should be able to merge with the Demon Lord and escape, right? With that thought, Lin Feng planned to communicate with the Demon Lord. At this moment, Lin Feng opened his eyes wide, and then he pointed behind this existence. My reinforcements are here, Lin Feng called out. Lin Feng had already used this trick before, but he hadn't been able to fool that terrifying cultivator. This time, this terrifying existence naturally didn't believe him, because he didn't feel any aura behind him. Idiot! This terrifying existence looked at Lin Feng with a mocking gaze, and couldn't help but mock him. He didn't look back, and he continued to pounce towards Lin Feng. Puff! In the next moment, a demonic light instantly penetrated this terrifying existence's head. Chapter 40-24. Ah! That fellow screamed. Having his head pierced through was an extremely serious injury to anyone. It could even harm his soul. Die! Lin Feng immediately took out a dozen powerful magic treasures and attacked the fellow. Bang! The magic treasures slammed into the body of the terrifying existence and sent it flying. The terrifying existence was drenched in blood. He looked rather miserable. However, his vitality was too tenacious. Despite having a bloody hole in his head and being sent flying by Lin Feng's magic treasures, he was still alive. Ha ha! Now you know who the idiot is? You idiot! How dare you think others are idiots? You're really stupid! Lin Feng couldn't help but laugh as he looked at the fellow mockingly. Pooh! After being ridiculed by Lin Feng and being severely injured by a sneak attack, the fellow was so angry that he coughed up a mouthful of blood. His expression became extremely unsightly. At that moment, the terrifying existence saw who had ambushed him. It was actually a puppet doll. It was none other than the cursed doll. Lin Feng hadn't expected the cursed doll to appear here. Ever since he had parted ways with the cursed doll in the small town outside the endless ghost sand, Lin Feng hadn't seen the cursed doll again. The fellow seemed to have been searching for something in the endless ghost sand. However, Lin Feng didn't know what it was looking for. He also didn't know if it had found anything. The cursed doll's methods had always been very strange. It was the incarnation of curses and possessed many unimaginable methods. Therefore, it wasn't a problem for the cursed doll to hide from the terrifying existence's senses. In the end, the terrifying existence's head was pierced through by the cursed doll, causing it to be severely injured. However, its vitality was too tenacious. When its head was pierced through, its brain matter even flowed out from the wound. However, the fellow was still alive. This was truly unbelievable. "All of you must die! All of you must die! I'm going to tear all of you into pieces!" These terrifying existences let out ear-piercing screams. Then, a large amount of evil aura gushed out of his body. The evil aura covered the sky and completely sealed off the area. This terrifying existence obviously wanted to trap Lin Feng and the cursed doll in this place, making it impossible for them to escape. "Let's kill him together," Lin Feng said in a deep voice. Now, the only path left was a bloody battle. This guy was already heavily injured, which made Lin Feng see the possibility of killing this guy. The origin of that world is very special," the cursed doll said eerily. Then, he began to chant an incantation, as if he wanted to launch a curse to attack this terrifying existence. The cursed doll's art of cursing was much more powerful than Lin Feng's art of cursing. After all, the cursed doll specialized in art of cursing. Lin Feng had cultivated a wide variety of art of cursing. Its power was extremely terrifying. Lin Feng controlled more than 10 powerful treasures to attack this terrifying existence. Lin Feng's current goal was to distract this terrifying existence's energy, and buy time for the cursed doll to unleash his art of cursing. "Kid, these treasures are really like throwing pearls before swine in your hands." After seeing those magic treasures, the terrifying existence sneered. He opened his big hand and slapped out one palm after another. Every time he slapped out, a powerful magic treasure would be slapped away by this guy. After the treasures were sent flying, the terrifying existence sent out a palm strike at Lin Feng and the cursed doll. Lin Feng's expression changed drastically. He quickly used a divine ability to block this terrifying attack. Lin Feng used the supremacy of the 9 heavens and 10 earths technique to block this terrifying attack. Their attacks collided fiercely. In an instant, Lin Feng was sent flying. Fortunately, he was wearing the Dominator's armor. His body did not suffer any serious injuries. The cursed doll, on the other hand, was unlucky. His body actually cracked open. I'm going to die! I'm going to die!" the cursed doll screamed. This guy was also bluffing because his cracked body recovered in the next moment. However, this terrifying existence was truly too powerful. Even if Lin Feng and the cursed doll joined forces, they would still not be a match for that fellow. That fellow was still able to display such heaven-defying combat strength even when it was severely injured. If it was not injured, who knew how terrifying it would be? Lin Feng knew that he had to borrow the power of the Demon Lord. Otherwise, it would be impossible for him to defeat that fellow. "Demon Lord, let's merge again!" Lin Feng transmitted his voice to the Demon Lord. "Fusion is too harmful to a spiritual body like me. You guys should just think about running away," Lin Feng said. The Demon Lord replied. F***CK. Lin Feng immediately rolled his eyes. The Demon Lord had dropped the ball at such a crucial moment. "This would not do," Lin Feng hurriedly said. "This place has been sealed. How are we going to escape? Quickly merge with me. If I die, you won't have a good ending either," the Demon Lord said helplessly. "Merge again. Next time, don't let me merge with you." After saying that, the Demon Lord rushed into Lin Feng's body and merged with Lin Feng. Lin Feng's strength began to increase at a crazy rate. He shouted, "You'll be at the back, and I'll be at the front." Lin Feng did not make it too clear, but the cursed doll knew what Lin Feng was talking about. "No problem. The cursed doll also felt the sudden increase in Lin Feng's strength, and nodded. Lin Feng controlled more than 10 powerful treasures and attacked the terrifying existence again. Merge? You've merged with a phantom body. The terrifying existence was indeed powerful. It could actually tell that Lin Feng had merged with the demon lord. Die. Lin Feng looked at the terrifying existence indifferently. Then, he controlled more than 10 powerful treasures and attacked the terrifying existence. After merging with the demon lord, Lin Feng's strength had increased crazily. Therefore, the power of these treasures had also increased greatly. Facing the attacks of so many treasures, the terrifying existence only laughed sinisterly. Then, it said disdainfully, "Reckless fellow. Do you think that you can defeat me by merging with a phantom body? Today, I'll let you know my power." Chapter 40-25. Kid! I'll let you have a taste of the power of my divine ability. The terrifying existence laughed sinisterly. Then, the evil power condensed into an evil creature holding a blood-red axe. Evil gods slaying gods with axe! The terrifying existence let out a long roar. Then, the cultivator with the blood-red axe moved towards Lin Feng. That axe was terrifyingly powerful. If Lin Feng was hit by that axe, he would definitely be cut in two. Of course, Lin Feng was not afraid. He activated the power of more than a dozen magic treasures. More than a dozen magic treasures erupted with an extremely heaven-defying power. Then, more than a dozen magic treasures rushed towards the existence holding the blood-red axe. Bang bang bang, the two sides suddenly collided. Lin Feng's magic treasures displayed an extremely powerful attack power. More than a dozen magic treasures gained the upper hand in the continuous battle with the existence holding the blood-red axe. It didn't take long for the existence holding the blood-red axe to be completely destroyed. Then, more than a dozen magic treasures flew towards the terrifying existence again. Lin Feng sneered and said, "Is that all you've got? If that's all you've got, I'm afraid you're going to die here today." The aura emitted by more than a dozen magic treasures became more and more terrifying, more and more powerful, causing people to be shocked and moved. After the fusion, Lin Feng's battle strength increased too much, so the power of these magic treasures was also unbelievably strong. Under Lin Feng's control, these magic treasures quickly flew to the side of the terrifying existence, and then rushed towards the terrifying existence. With such a terrifying power, the terrifying existence did not dare to resist with his flesh and blood, not to mention that his body was now seriously injured. The bloody hole in his head was still bleeding with blood and brain matter. It was too terrifying to watch. At this time, the terrifying existence took out a powerful magic treasure. His magic treasure was a scepter, a black scepter. He held the black scepter and swept it towards Lin Feng's magic treasures. Bang bang bang, then, a violent collision sound was suddenly heard. The scepter's power was really strong. It actually blocked the attack of more than a dozen magic treasures of Lin Feng and sent Lin Feng's magic treasures flying. Such power was really unimaginable, causing Lin Feng to feel very shocked. "Kid! Have you seen the power of this supreme treasure of mine? This supreme treasure of mine! It's called the Blood Demon Scepter. It's made of blood demon stone. Its power can destroy heaven and earth. No matter how powerful your magic treasures are, as long as I hold this scepter, I can block your attack," the terrifying existence said with a smile. He was obviously very satisfied with his supreme treasure. This terrifying existence walked towards Lin Feng, the scepter in his hand, and smashed Lin Feng. A high-pitched dragon roar resounded through the heavens and earth, and a blood-red dragon actually appeared within the blood demon scepter. The blood-red dragon flew out from the blood devil scepter. Then, it quickly rushed towards Lin Feng. After feeling the terrifying aura of the blood-red dragon, Lin Feng's face revealed a shocked expression. He quickly moved to the left, and dodged the attack of the blood-red dragon. At this time, the terrifying existence waved the scepter in his hand again and again. Then, he swept it towards Lin Feng. Streaks of blood-red light condensed. The streaks of blood-red light contained a power that could destroy heaven and earth. Lin Feng kept dodging the terrifying attacks. He was forced into a sorry state by the terrifying existence. Puff! At that moment, a piercing sound spread in the air. Lin Feng looked over and saw that a hole had appeared in that terrifying cultivator's chest. Lin Feng's eyes. They suddenly lit up. That bloody hole. It must have been caused by the cursed doll's curse technique. Ah! The terrifying existence let out a painful roar. Previously, his head was pierced by the cursed doll. Now, his chest was pierced by the cursed doll's attack. The terrifying existence was mad with hatred. If looks could kill, the cursed doll would have been cut into pieces by this terrifying existence many times over. I'll kill you first! The terrifying existence roared. He waved the scepter in his hand and attacked the cursed doll. Billions of blood-red light! The terrifying existence's roar shook the sky. As soon as his voice fell, billions of blood-red light condensed in the scepter and attacked the cursed doll. Run, run, run! The cursed doll screamed. The cursed doll screamed in horror. The power of the hundreds of millions of blood rays was too terrifying. It made one's hair stand on end. The cursed doll wanted to escape, but he could not avoid the attacks of the billions of blood-red light. The billions of blood-red light bombarded the cursed doll. In an instant, the cursed doll's body was shattered. Then, the shattered body parts fell everywhere. I'm going to kill you! Seeing the cursed doll being killed, Lin Feng's eyes turned red. The cursed doll and Lin Feng had a deep friendship. Lin Feng and the cursed doll were very close. Lin Feng had always treated the cursed doll as his good friend. Seeing his good friend being killed, Lin Feng was naturally enraged. His murderous intent was clear. He channeled his magic power into more than 10 powerful magic treasures. The power of each of the magic treasures suddenly increased. More than 10 magic treasures attacked the terrifying existence. Now that the terrifying existence's chest was pierced by the cursed doll's curse technique, the power of the curse technique caused unimaginable damage to his body, causing his combat power to decrease greatly. Lin Feng's dozen treasures bombarded that cultivator. That cultivator couldn't compete with him. Bang, bang, bang! A series of violent collisions suddenly sounded. Lin Feng's magic treasures showed their power and sent the terrifying existence flying. Pu-pu, pu-pu. Tearing sounds were heard. Many of Lin Feng's magic treasures left deep wounds on the terrifying existence's body, so deep that the bones could be seen. This guy's injuries worsened. Die, die, die! Lin Feng roared and continued to activate his magic treasures to attack the terrifying existence. The death of the cursed doll caused Lin Feng to enter a state of madness. How can I be killed by an ant like you? You're the one who's going to die. Burning blood technique. Chapter 40-26. After the terrifying existence's body was wrapped in flames, his aura began to rise crazily. This was a method of burning one's own blood essence to increase one's combat strength. Such a method was usually used when one was desperate. Now, this existence was forced into a desperate situation by Lin Feng, so he had no choice but to use this desperate method. Kid, I haven't been forced into this situation yet. Do you know how precious my blood essence is? Even if you die 10,000 times, 100,000 times, it's not too much. The terrifying existence roared angrily. His aura became more and more terrifying. The terrifying existence once again waved the blood demon's scepter in his hand and swept it towards Lin Feng's many treasures. After using this desperate method, the terrifying existence's combat strength had soared to a shocking level. The terrifying attack ruthlessly bombarded Lin Feng's many treasures. All of Lin Feng's treasures were blown away. Then, the terrifying existence quickly rushed in front of Lin Feng. He waved the scepter and swept it towards Lin Feng. The void directly shattered. Just how tyrannical was the power of this attack? It was simply unimaginable. Lin Feng's expression was gloomy. He used the thought-blooming flower and Sovereign's descent to deal with the incoming Blood Demon Scepter. However, Lin Feng's magic was broken by the Blood Demon Scepter. This terrifying existence's combat strength increased by burning its blood essence to activate the Blood Demon Scepter. The power of the Blood Demon Scepter had reached an unfathomable level. After breaking Lin Feng's magic, the Blood Demon Scepter then bombarded Lin Feng's body. Lin Feng was sent flying by the Blood Demon Scepter. His face became very pale. Although he didn't suffer any fatal injuries because he was wearing the ruler's armor. The feeling of being hit by the Blood Demon Scepter was still extremely terrible. Lin Feng was sent flying. His face was pale and he almost spat out a mouthful of blood. "Kid! Die!" This terrifying existence followed him like a shadow. He appeared above Lin Feng and swung the Blood Devil Scepter at Lin Feng's head. If this attack landed on his head, wouldn't his head be smashed like a watermelon? Therefore, after sensing the terrifying power contained in this attack, Lin Feng had no intention of facing it head-on. Lin Feng quickly executed the 3,000 Great Tao, the Great Death Substitution Art. Whoosh! With a flash of light, Lin Feng disappeared once again. He relied on the Great Death Substitution technique, which was one of the 3,000 Great Tao, to avoid the other party's sure-kill attack. "Demonic Orb! Come out!" Lin Feng waved his hand and summoned the Demonic Orb. He kept the other Dharma treasures and activated the Demonic Orb with all his might. The Demonic Orb released an endless amount of demonic light, and a huge beam of light blasted towards the terrifying existence. Bang! Along with the sound of a violent collision, the terrifying existence was sent flying by the demonic light from the Demonic Orb. "It's this treasure. It hasn't been destroyed yet." After seeing the Demonic Orb, the terrifying existence was shocked. He couldn't believe his eyes. Boom! 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 The Demonic Orb once again released terrifying beams of light that blasted towards the terrifying existence. The beams of light were too powerful. The terrifying existence's expression turned gloomy. He continued to burn his essence and blood to increase his combat strength. His aura became even more terrifying. His combat strength continued to increase by leaps and bounds. "Blood Devil descends!" Following that, the terrifying existence roared. As soon as his voice fell, a mysterious figure appeared from the Blood Devil Scepter. The mysterious figure wore a blood-red robe. No one knew what kind of existence this mysterious existence was. When he appeared, the world seemed to be on the verge of extinction. The great Tao of heaven and earth trembled and wailed. "Powerful! Powerful! Powerful!" The Blood Devil was too powerful. It was so powerful that it made one's soul tremble. The Blood Devil merged with the terrifying existence holding the Blood Devil Scepter. The aura of the existence holding the Blood Devil Scepter became even more powerful. The Blood Devil Scepter in his hand blasted towards the beams of light from the Demonic Orb. Boom! Boom! After a series of collisions, the beams of light were destroyed. The terrifying existence held the Blood Devil Scepter and charged towards the Demonic Orb, sending it flying. Following that, he swept the scepter towards Lin Feng. This time, Lin Feng wasn't able to dodge the Blood Demon Scepter's attack and was blown away by it. Barf! Lin Feng couldn't help but spit out a mouthful of blood. His face turned as white as a sheet. The terrifying attack just now was too terrifying. If it weren't for the sovereign armor, Lin Feng felt that his body would have exploded. Besides, Lin Feng realized that he was in a very bad situation. He realized that his strength was rapidly decreasing. His fusion with the Demon Lord seemed to be about to separate. This made Lin Feng's expression change drastically. This was going to be troublesome. Lin Feng knew that this existence was terrifying, but he didn't expect it to be to this extent. Was he going to die in the hands of this guy even after fusing with the Demon Lord and the help of the Cursed Doll? The terrifying existence held the Blood Devil Scepter and charged towards Lin Feng again. His face was full of a hideous grin. He rushed in front of Lin Feng and once again swung the Blood Devil Scepter towards Lin Feng. Such a terrifying attack was really creepy. Danger! 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 Lin Feng felt the aura of death enveloping his body. At this critical moment, the Dark Bible flew out of time and space. The Dark Bible was placed in front of Lin Feng. When the terrifying existence's blood devil scepter came down, it was directly blocked by the Dark Bible. The spirit called Han Xian appeared behind the terrifying existence. Han Xian blasted a palm towards the terrifying existence. The terrifying existence's reaction was extremely fast. He turned around and slapped at Han Xian. Both sides' palms collided. When he collided with Han Xian, Lin Feng took out the Black Dragon sword. He held the Black Dragon sword in his hand and slashed towards the terrifying existence's head. But to Lin Feng's surprise, the terrifying existence's body began to become illusory. Even if Lin Feng's sword slashed over, it wouldn't hurt the terrifying existence at all. His methods were really strange. But at this moment, a strange change occurred. The cursed doll that was originally dead had been resurrected at some point. Moreover, his reconstructed body suddenly split the void and appeared beside the terrifying existence. He slapped the terrifying existence's illusory body. The terrifying existence's illusory body actually solidified again. Lin Feng's eyes suddenly lit up. Puff! A tearing sound was heard. The next moment, blood splattered. Chapter 40:27. My head! My head! All of you deserve to die! All of you deserve to die! After the head of this terrifying existence was chopped off, it actually didn't die. Its head issued an angry roar, then it opened its head and spat out black energy balls one after another. The black energy was extremely terrifying and contained an aura that could destroy heaven and earth. Bang, bang, bang! A series of violent explosions were heard as the black energy balls exploded around Lin Feng, the cursed doll, and Han Xian. Immediately, they were sent flying by the explosion. I'm going to eat you! The terrifying existence hated Lin Feng the most. Its head rapidly grew in size. Not long after, the head grew to the size of a mountain. It suddenly inhaled, and a terrifying devouring power gushed out. Lin Feng's body was enveloped by the devouring power, and then his body flew uncontrollably toward the terrifying existence. The head wanted to devour Lin Feng in one gulp. The situation was dangerous. Han Xian flew over and merged with the Dark Bible. When Han Xian merged with the Dark Bible, something shocking happened. The Dark Bible began to distort. Not long after, the Dark Bible turned into Han Xian. This is... Lin Feng was shocked. A weapon cultivator! Han Xian was transforming into a weapon cultivator. In other words, Han Xian had begun to transform into a weapon cultivator. However, it was still difficult for her to use a weapon cultivator's body to fight, so Han Xian had never transformed into a weapon cultivator's body. But now, Han Xian had transformed into a weapon cultivator, and her combat strength had increased tremendously. She slammed her palm toward the terrifying existence's enlarged head. Bang! The terrifying palm slammed into the huge head, and the terrifying existence's head was instantly sent flying. Lin Feng took out the gourd of fortune. He opened the gourd of fortune. Suddenly, a powerful devouring power gushed out of the gourd of fortune. The devouring power that gushed out of the gourd of fortune was different from ordinary devouring power. It also contained the power of fortune. The power of fortune was very powerful, and when combined with the devouring power, its power was unimaginable. The terrifying existence's head flew toward the gourd of fortune. At the same time, his enlarged head rapidly shrank. The gourd of fortune. An immortal gourd formed from the immortal fortune vine. You want to devour me? I won't let you succeed! The terrifying existence roared furiously, and his head kept struggling. It wanted to break free from the gourd of fortune. However, it failed. In the end, that terrifying cultivator's head was swallowed by the good fortune gourd. Lin Feng's good fortune gourd was an incredible treasure. To devour all living things. Refine all living beings. Unless Lin Feng let them out. Otherwise, it would be like daydreaming if he wanted to get out of there. Go to hell, brat! Go to hell! The headless body roared furiously and threw itself at Lin Feng. Damn! This guy's vitality is too tenacious. I wonder what race he is. Lin Feng was shocked. Lin Feng sneered. After losing its head, the terrifying existence was left with only its body. It was very difficult for it to deal any damage to Lin Feng. Lin Feng, the cursed doll, and Han Xian all rushed toward the terrifying existence's body. Then, the three of them joined forces. Bang! The terrifying existence's body exploded, turning into the purest source energy. It's that world's source energy. That world's source energy. It will definitely bring us unimaginable benefits. The cursed doll shouted excitedly. How dare you destroy my body? You'll all die a horrible death. The terrifying existence's head roared furiously. Even after being sucked into the gourd of fortune, the fellow was still very disobedient. Lin Feng kept the gourd of fortune. He would deal with this fellow later. Lin Feng split the terrifying existence's source energy into 4 parts. He, the demon lord, the cursed doll, and Han Xian each received a portion. The demon lord flew out of Lin Feng's body and took a portion of its source energy before returning to the demonic orb. Han Xian also took a portion of the source energy and said, Although I've basically become a weapon cultivator, my body is still unable to adapt. Perhaps there's some problem somewhere or I'm still lacking some maturity. If I refine these sources, I should be able to fully adapt to my identity as a demon cultivator. After taking a portion of the source energy, Han Xian entered Lin Feng's space-time domain. As for the remaining 2 portions, Lin Feng and the cursed doll each received a portion. The 2 of them collected their respective sources. What are you doing here? Lin Feng looked curiously at the cursed doll. I'm here to chase after that bastard, immeasurable Taoist. The cursed doll immediately started cursing. Lin Feng was surprised and said, Immeasurable Taoist? That fellow came here? What's he doing here? The cursed doll immediately shut up when it heard Lin Feng's question. Back then, the cursed doll had entered the endless ghost sand to search for something. Although Lin Feng did not know what the cursed doll was looking for, he could imagine that it must be something extremely precious. The cursed doll was still hiding the truth from him. Now that the cursed doll was chasing after immeasurable Taoist, Lin Feng guessed that the immeasurable Taoist might have snatched the item away. Lin Feng knew very well how powerful the immeasurable Taoist was. If the immeasurable Taoist wanted to snatch something from someone else, he had 1,000 ways to do so. Lin Feng said, What's wrong? The immeasurable Taoist snatched the item away? Once that damned Taoist priest has stolen something, it is as difficult as ascending to the heavens to snatch it back. Furthermore, once that damned Taoist priest disappears, you will not be able to find him. However, if you tell me what that thing is, I can help you lure that damned Taoist priest out. You have a way to lure that immoral immeasurable Taoist out? The cursed doll asked doubtfully. Lin Feng could not help but snicker inwardly. In the past, the cursed doll had always schemed against others. When had it ever been schemed against by others? Now that the immeasurable Taoist had schemed against it, the cursed doll naturally could not take this lying down. Of course I have a way to lure that immeasurable Taoist out. Now tell me, what is the item you're looking for? Lin Feng asked. Chapter 40-28. Lin Feng did not say anything else. He was waiting for the cursed doll to make the final decision. The cursed doll would have its own opinion. That item has great implications. It's related to several treasures, said the cursed doll. What does it have to do with treasures? Lin Feng asked curiously. 9 Prefectures Lantern, said the cursed doll. Upon hearing the words, Lin Feng was shocked. The 9 Prefectures Lantern was definitely the most mysterious treasure in the 9 Prefectures world. It was said that the 9 Prefectures world should have been destroyed in the battle before the end of the Xiantian realm. However, the 9 Prefectures world was stabilized by the 9 Prefectures lamp. Therefore, many worlds were destroyed. However, the 9 prefectures world was still intact. Of course, this was only a legend. It was hard to say whether it was true or not. However, there was no smoke without fire. Since there was such a legend, Lin Feng believed it to a large extent. Lin Feng had seen the 9 prefectures lantern before. This could be traced back to the early days of his cultivation. But after that, Lin Feng never saw the 9 prefectures lanterns again. The 9 prefectures lantern was not only a precious treasure to the human race, but it also had a special meaning. Many people had tried to find the 9 prefectures lantern, but to no avail. Lin Feng asked, "Are you saying that the item you were looking for is closely related to the 9 prefectures lantern?" The cursed doll nodded. "That's right. It's said that the item can be used to find the 9 prefectures lantern." Lin Feng was shocked. If that was the case, the item was too valuable. If he could find the 9 prefectures lantern, it would be a heaven-defying harvest. This was especially true for the human race. If he could obtain one of the 9 prefectures lanterns, it would be of great help. Lin Feng had heard of another rumor before. It was related to the 9 prefectures lantern. According to the rumor, if he could obtain the 9 prefectures lantern, he could rely on the wonders of the 9 prefectures lantern to resolve the crisis brought about by the destruction of an era, and he could survive until the next era. Whether this statement was true or not was unknown for the time being. Despite that, this legend became the main reason why countless people went crazy over the 9 continents lantern. However, no one had been able to find the 9 continents lantern despite the countless years that had passed. Lin Feng was naturally very interested in the 9 continents lantern. His natal magic treasure, the Primal Chaos Ancient Lamp, was forged from the inspiration of the 9 continents lamp. "What kind of thing is that?" Lin Feng asked. "It's an ancient map. It's very mysterious. You can use it to find the 9 continent lantern," the cursed doll said. "The 9 prefectures lantern should still be in the 9 prefectures world, right?" Lin Feng said. "That's not necessarily true. The 9 prefectures lamp may have left the 9 prefectures world long ago. Of course, it may still be in the 9 prefectures world. If we can comprehend the map, we can naturally obtain useful clues," the cursed doll said. Then he asked, "You're saying that you can lure out that fellow, immeasurable Taoist? How are we going to lure that fellow out?" "Hee, you'll know when the time comes. However, before we lure that Taoist out, let's find a place to refine the origin energy we obtained earlier," Lin Feng said. "All right." The cursed doll nodded. Then, he left with Lin Feng. The two of them found a secluded place in the forest. Lin Feng set up a few concealment formations. Then, the two of them went into seclusion to refine the origin energy they obtained earlier. Currently, Lin Feng was at the 3rd heavenly layer of the Emperor's celestial sect. He wondered how high his cultivation level would be after refining the origin energy. The cursed doll said, "Although I don't want to admit that guy's words, I have to admit that his origin source is different from other cultivators' origin source. His origin source contains a stronger, purer, and higher level energy. The value of that energy is extraordinary. Once it's refined, it'll greatly benefit one's cultivation. Moreover, that energy can stimulate one's body and develop one's potential. It can even remove the impurities in one's body and heal one's hidden injuries. It's extremely mysterious. If you're lucky, you might be able to obtain some inheritance or memories of that world from the origin energy. That way, you'll have a better understanding of that world." Hearing that, Lin Feng's face revealed a shocked expression. It was just a ball of origin energy, yet it had so many uses. It was truly unbelievable. The cursed doll's serious expression meant that he was not lying. It was no wonder that the cursed doll wanted to refine that fellow's origin energy so badly. After hearing the cursed doll's words, Lin Feng's heart began to itch. He also wanted to refine that fellow's origin energy as soon as possible to see if it was as magical as the cursed doll said. Lin Feng began to refine the terrifying existence's origin energy. As the origin energy was refined, A large amount of pure energy gradually fused into his body. The pure energy gradually fused into Lin Feng's limbs, meridians, and flesh. Not long after, Lin Feng felt that many impurities in his body began to be expelled. This made Lin Feng very shocked. Lin Feng had always thought that his body was very clean and there were very few impurities that could be expelled. However, only now did he realize that there were still so many impurities hidden in his body. As the impurities were expelled from his body, Lin Feng felt that his body had become much more relaxed. This feeling was quite comfortable. As time passed, a large amount of pure energy was absorbed by Lin Feng. This kind of pure energy was an invisible improvement to one's talent. It was invisible to the naked eye, but it could be felt during cultivation. The specific manifestations were an increase in cultivation speed, an easier comprehension of Tao, and so on. This is... Suddenly, Lin Feng found a ball of memory in the pure energy. After he opened the ball of memory, Lin Feng instantly saw a boundless world from the ball of memory. At the top of the world, above the boundless sky, there was a huge group of palaces that were suspended in midair. The group of palaces was golden and dazzling. In this ball of memory, this terrifying existence was filled with reverence for the group of palaces. That place was an incomparably sacred place in his heart. However, this terrifying existence had never entered the group of palaces because he was not qualified to enter that place. Chapter 40-29. Lin Feng thought of a possibility. Could that group of palaces be the place where the mastermind lived? The more Lin Feng thought about it, the more he felt that it was possible. After all, even that guy treated that group of palaces as a holy land. He was so powerful, but he still didn't have the qualifications to enter that group of palaces. From this, it could be seen that the existence living in that group of palaces had the qualifications to be the mastermind behind the scenes. Of course, all of this was just Lin Feng's guess. Lin Feng planned to ask that terrifying existence after he finished cultivating. That guy's head was still there, and his soul hadn't been destroyed. He wondered if he could find some useful information from that terrifying existence. Lin Feng began to focus on improving his strength. In the end, Lin Feng's realm broke through 2 levels in a row. He stopped at the Emperor Ancestor realm's 5th heavenly layer. This made Lin Feng very happy. He was already very satisfied to be able to increase his cultivation by 2 heavenly layers. After all, Lin Feng's accumulation was too powerful. It was extremely difficult to increase one's cultivation. Now, Lin Feng's cultivation was steadily increasing. This kind of increase was neither too fast nor too slow. It was very in line with Lin Feng's cultivation principles. Lin Feng familiarized himself with the power after the breakthrough. Lin Feng felt that the Fa Li in his Dantian had become even more majestic. Every time one broke through to the Emperor Ancestor realm, their strength would be greatly improved. However, Lin Feng heard that breaking through to the Emperor realm would be a different world. Therefore, Lin Feng was very much looking forward to breaking through to the Emperor realm. Of course, Lin Feng also knew that breaking through to the Emperor realm wasn't so easy. It could be described as difficult as ascending to the heavens. Therefore, this couldn't be rushed. Lin Feng believed that with his talent, he only needed to lay a good foundation. Breaking through to the Emperor realm would definitely be a matter of course. After Lin Feng came out of seclusion, the cursed doll was still cultivating. An energy ball condensed from cursed power appeared outside the cursed doll's body. The ball of energy enveloped the cursed doll. The cursed doll should be undergoing a metamorphosis at this moment. Lin Feng sat down cross-legged as his spiritual will entered the gourd of fortune. There were 3 people suppressed inside the gourd of fortune. In addition to the head of the terrifying existence, there were also 2 sovereign lords of the 10,000 imperial families of the Sacred War Alliance. Lin Feng didn't have time to convert them. How does it feel to have only 1 head left? Lin Feng transmitted his voice to the terrifying existence's head. Brat. Your existence will definitely be known by the people of that world. When that time comes, you will die a miserable death. Your fate will definitely be 100 times more miserable than mine, the head said in a sinister voice. Hee. Sooner or later, I will overturn that world. Trample on those masterminds and behead them, Lin Feng said indifferently. The head sneered. Boy, you're just boasting shamelessly. You don't know what kind of existence the ruler of that world is. If only you knew, then you would know how laughable your words are. Lin Feng sneered. Those existences might be undefeatable in your eyes, but in my eyes, they are nothing. My ancestor almost destroyed them. I believe that sooner or later, my achievements will surpass my ancestors. I will do what my ancestor couldn't. Boast. Keep boasting. Your ancestor is strong. That doesn't mean you're strong. But now you. At most, you're just a slightly stronger ant. How dare you boast about yourself here? How laughable, the head said eerily. If you know what's good for you, you should let me go and acknowledge me as your master. That way, you can still live. Ha. How foolish. I'm even suspecting if your head has been injured so badly that you've become such an idiot. That's why you said those words. Lin Feng cursed without holding back. There was no need to be polite when dealing with such a bad guy. Boy, I'm looking forward to seeing the scene of you dying miserably, the head said with a sinister smile. He was very calm. He definitely didn't believe that Lin Feng had a way to turn the situation around. He felt that Lin Feng was dead meat. It was no wonder that this guy would have such thoughts. Perhaps any living being in that world would have the same thoughts as this guy. I've decided to purify you. Let's see how many secrets you're hiding. Lin Feng's expression was indifferent. Then, he cast the great purification technique and a powerful purification force poured into the fortune gourd. There were fortune chains in the fortune gourd. The fortune chains wrapped around the head and prevented him from struggling. Then, the purification force tried to invade the head. However, Lin Feng failed in the end. This was because an extremely strange force kept surging out of the head. That strange force resisted the purification force from invading. Lin Feng frowned. It wasn't easy to purify this guy's head. However, Lin Feng wasn't in a hurry. Just because he couldn't purify it now didn't mean that he couldn't purify it in the future. After some time, when this guy was almost exhausted, he should be able to purify it. Lin Feng checked on the other two Emperor Lords who were suppressed. He realized that the magical powers in their bodies were still very strong. It wouldn't be easy to purify them. Lin Feng planned to make his move after some time. During this time, he would continue to exhaust their magical powers and weaken their strength. This would make it easier for Lin Feng to purify them. 2 days later, the cursed doll also came out of seclusion. This guy seemed to be very excited. It seemed like he had obtained a lot of benefits. The cursed doll sighed. What a pity. I only obtained a quarter of the source energy. How good would it be if there were a few more living beings like this? Lin Feng couldn't help but roll his eyes. You're really daring. This guy has been suppressed in the Forbidden God world for countless years. He just escaped not long ago. Otherwise, even if all of us worked together, we wouldn't be a match for him, let alone other existences. I'm just thinking about it. The cursed doll grinned. Then, he said, now, shouldn't we think of a way to lure that immoral Taoist Wu Lian out? Lin Feng nodded and said, no problem. My method can definitely lure that guy out. Thousand Dao City, a famous ancient city of the Sacred War Alliance. Currently, a large number of cultivators had gathered outside the city. Even the Thousand Dao City's city lord had personally appeared. It was said that, soon, there would be a big shot coming here. Chapter 40-30. Uncle! May I know who this important person is? A cultivator asked the Thousand Dao City's city lord beside him. From the way he addressed him, it was obvious that the person who asked the question was the city lord's nephew. Our Thousand Dao City belongs to the soaring celestial spirit race. The person who came this time is an expert from the soaring celestial spirit race who came out of the stone, An expert from the stone? Doesn't that mean he's an imperial lord? Many people exclaimed. Monarch-level existences were high and mighty. They looked down on the heavens and swept through all directions. Who could contend against them? Even among the imperial clans of the myriad races, there weren't many imperial lords. As for the cultivators of the heavenly sage great world, there were as many of them as there was water in the ocean. The arrival of an imperial lord naturally attracted attention. It was no wonder that the 1,000 Dao city's city lord had personally led people to welcome this imperial lord. Rumble, rumble! At that moment, an earth-shattering sound came from the distance. Strange beasts were rushing over, pulling beast carriages. The cultivators on the carriages looked back in horror, not knowing what was going on. He's here! That lord is here! The 1,000 Dao city's city lord said excitedly. Eh? Something's not right. These people look panicked, as if they're being chased by someone. Are they the people we're waiting for? Many people couldn't help but feel puzzled. I don't think so. The person we're waiting for is an expert with an imperial lord. Look at how miserable these people are. How do they look like experts? They're like stray dogs. Yeah, these people do look like stray dogs. Many people couldn't help but start discussing. However, the 1,000 Dao city's city lord said in a low voice. No. These people are the people we're waiting for. The reason why the 1,000 Dao city's city lord said this was because he recognized an old friend. What? These people who look like stray dogs are actually experts from the soaring celestial race. The cultivators exclaimed in disbelief. This was too inconceivable. They didn't dare to believe it. The soaring celestial spirit race had an imperial lord with them. Why were they panicking? Something must have happened. Let's go! 1,000 Dao city's city lord said in a deep voice. Then, he soared into the sky. The cultivators behind him also soared into the sky and flew towards the group of people in the distance. Brother Shintu. What happened? Why are you so panicked? After the two sides met, they stopped in the void. The 1,000 Dao city's city lord looked at a cultivator and asked in confusion. That cultivator was called Shintu Bao. He was a Saint Emperor-level expert from the Flying Immortal Spirit clan and was an old friend of the 1,000 Dao city's city lord. Something's wrong. Something big had happened. We encountered bandits on the way. Shintu Bao said with an ugly expression. Everyone was stunned. Did they encounter bandits on the way? What kind of bandits were they? How dare they rob the experts of the Soaring Celestial Spirit clan? Furthermore, the Soaring Immortal Spirit clan did not only have sage emperors. Furthermore, there was an Emperor Realm expert overseeing it. Those bandits dared to rob them, weren't they courting death? Soon, the 1,000 Dao city's city lord and the others realized that something was amiss. That was because the Soaring Celestial Spirit clan's people were fleeing in panic. It was as if they had encountered a primordial beast. It did not seem like they had encountered bandits at all. However, Shintu Bao was not lying. They had encountered bandits, but those bandits were too powerful. Where's Lord? The 1,000 Dao city's city lord asked. Shintu Bao said with an ugly expression. Lord was captured by the bandits. What? Lord was captured by the bandits? The 1,000 Dao city's city lord and the others cried out in alarm. They could not believe their ears. That lord was an Emperor Realm expert. An Emperor Realm expert. Captured by bandits? Just how terrifyingly strong were those bandits? Just thinking about it made one's hair stand on end. Fortunately, the bandits did not chase after us. Shintu Bao said with a long sigh. Bandits? Brother Shintu used the word bandits earlier. Could it be that there was only one bandit? The 1,000 Dao city's city lord asked in shock. Yes. There was only one bandit. That bandit was fat and wore a Taoist robe. He had a wretched appearance. He seemed to be a Taoist who had fallen from grace and became a bandit. Even Lord was not a match for that bandit and was suppressed by that bandit. It was not easy for us to escape from that bandit's clutches. Shintu Bao said as if he had just survived a calamity. Xingtu Bao was a big shot in the soaring celestial spirit clan. He was usually aloof and had a calm demeanor. However, he was currently in a very sorry state. Even so, no one mocked him. Because what Xingtu Bao had experienced was too terrifying. A bandit was actually powerful to such an inconceivable degree. It was truly inconceivable. No one dared to believe that it was real. However, everything was real. Shouldn't we report this matter to our superiors? We need the clan to send experts to deal with that Taoist. The 1,000 Dao City's city lord said. Yes. Let's return to the city quickly. I need to report this matter through the sacrificial ceremony. Xingtu Bao said. The group quickly returned to the city. This matter was quickly reported. When the upper echelons of the soaring celestial spirit clan found out about this matter, they were furious. An emperor-level expert of the clan was actually kidnapped by a bandit. This was truly a great humiliation. Soon, another piece of news was sent back to the clan. It was said that the expert had made a ransom request. That bandit wanted 50 million immortal stones, 1,000 immortal medicines, and 1,000 immortal pills in order to release the emperor-level expert. This matter caused the upper echelons of the soaring celestial spirit clan to be furious. Even for a colossus like the myriad race royal clan, taking out so many things would cause a great loss to their vitality. The upper echelons of the soaring celestial spirit clan hoped to negotiate. However, that bandit's attitude was very unyielding. He would definitely not negotiate. At that time, he would directly kill the hostage. This matter spread like wildfire. Everyone was shocked. Everyone was guessing who that Taoist was. He actually dared to be so audacious. He even dared to kidnap the emperor-level expert of the Myriad Race Royal Clan. Moreover, he even wanted the Myriad Race Royal Clan to pay a ransom to redeem the emperor-level expert. In the end, the soaring celestial spirit clan compromised and took out the ransom demanded by the Taoist. Both parties would conduct the transaction outside the 1,000 Dao city. This matter caused a huge commotion. A large number of cultivators headed towards the 1,000 Dao city. Chapter 40-31. Outside of 1,000 Dao city, people came and went. It was very lively. A large number of cultivators had gathered here. The Flying Heavens immortal spirit races 4 Emperor Lords had all arrived. These Emperor Lords all had extremely gloomy expressions. An Imperial Lord of the soaring celestial race had been kidnapped and extorted. This news had spread far and wide. It was a great humiliation for the race. Now, the 4 Imperial Lords of the soaring celestial race wanted to redeem the kidnapped Imperial Lord before attacking the damned Taoist. They had to beat the Taoist half to death. Otherwise, how could they vent their anger? Everyone was waiting for the Taoist to arrive. Many people couldn't help but discuss. Will the Taoist not dare to show up? That's very possible. It's normal for the Taoist to not show up after seeing so many experts from the soaring celestial race. That Taoist is really audacious. He even dared to kidnap someone from the soaring celestial race. I'm really curious who that guy is. He's here. Look, he's here. Someone pointed into the distance. In the distance, a middle-aged cultivator was tied up with ropes. A Taoist priest was chasing the middle-aged cultivator away. That middle-aged cultivator was none other than the Emperor rank expert from the soaring immortal spirit clan who was captured by Qin Wentian. You're going too far. After seeing their tribesmen tied up, the 4 Emperor Lords' faces turned extremely gloomy. Their eyes were spewing fire. If looks could kill, the Taoist priest would have been killed by the 4 Emperor Lords' looks many times over. Shit, isn't that damned Taoist Wu Liang that bastard? Someone shouted. Who's Wu Liang? Someone asked curiously. That guy has been secretly excavating the tombs of the various great powers in recent years. He even went to the Myriad Races cemetery and excavated the tombs there. Many factions are still looking for this damned Taoist. However, I heard that this damned Taoist fled the heavenly sage great world a few years ago. He must have gotten enough benefits and escaped. Who would have thought that this damned Taoist would return? A cultivator said. I remember now. I've also heard about this death Taoist. Why did this death Taoist come back? You can't just rub the wool off a sheep. A cultivator said speechlessly. This time, this damned Taoist didn't seem to have dug up other people's tombs. However, this damned Taoist actually became a bandit who robbed the sovereign lord. When did this damned Taoist become so powerful? Someone gritted his teeth and said, he didn't know if his ancestor's grave had been dug up by the immeasurable Taoist. The immeasurable Taoist would go and rob tombs whenever he had nothing better to do. He didn't know how many ancient tombs had been excavated by this damned Taoist priest. Lin Feng already knew of countless ancient tombs, so what didn't Lin Feng know? This damned Taoist has dug up so many graves. How many treasures has he found? There's no need to make a fuss about his cultivation increasing, someone said viciously. My ancestor's grave was dug up by this damned Taoist priest. There's one of my clan's greatest treasures inside. This damned Taoist priest actually dares to appear here. I'm going to kill this damned Taoist priest, someone said coldly. My ancestor's grave was also dug up by this damned Taoist priest. This damned Taoist priest is a bastard who deserves to be chopped up by 1,000 knives. Even in my dreams, I want to chop this damned Taoist priest into pieces, another cultivator said. The surroundings were in an uproar. Countless cultivators were glaring at the immeasurable Taoist priest. The 4 emperor-level experts were all astonished. They didn't expect that the Taoist priest who had kidnapped their clan's sovereign lord expert would be chased down by everyone like a rat on the street. It seemed that this damned Taoist priest had done a lot of evil deeds. The Taoist priest that appeared here wasn't the real immeasurable Taoist priest. He was Lin Feng's great transformation technique. His great transformation technique was infused with the power of the great fate technique. It was enough to fool everyone. The demon revealing mirror. It couldn't reflect Lin Feng's true body. I've brought the person. Have you guys brought the item? The immeasurable Taoist priest looked at the 4 sovereign lords of the flying heavens immortal spirit race with a haughty look on his face. Even though the crowd was riled up and surrounded by powerful beings, the immeasurable Taoist priest's face wasn't red at all, and he wasn't panting at all. It was as though he wasn't worried about his situation at all. This damned Taoist priest is really arrogant. Today, this damned Taoist priest won't be able to escape, many people said viciously. And then, a large number of cultivators began to spread out and surround the immeasurable Taoist priest. However, the immeasurable Taoist priest didn't seem to have noticed anything as he looked at the 4 sovereign lords of the flying heavens immortal spirit race. I've brought the item. Let's exchange the person and the item, one of the sovereign lords of the flying heavens immortal spirit race said solemnly. No, no, no. Hand the item over to me first. After checking it, if there's no problem, I'll hand the person over to you guys, the immeasurable Taoist priest replied. Another sovereign lord said solemnly. The rules of the world of cultivators have always been the same. 1 hand for the person, 1 hand for the money. There's no such rule as handing over the person after handing over the money, the immeasurable Taoist priest replied indifferently. There wasn't in the past, but that doesn't mean that there won't be in the future. Isn't there one now? You! The sovereign lord's face froze up. His gaze was incomparably dark. The leader of the sovereign lords said, All right. We'll hand over the item you need first. This sovereign lord's thoughts were simple. He would swallow this anger for now. Later on, after their people had escaped, then, he would deal with this damned Taoist priest. Furthermore, there were so many cultivators from various factions who hated this damned Taoist priest to the core. Right now, those cultivators had already surrounded the place. Together with the 5 sovereign lords, the leader of the flying heavens immortal spirit race had 10,000 reasons to believe this. This damned Taoist priest was definitely going to die. There's the item you need in here. The sovereign lord took out a storage ring and handed it over to the immeasurable Taoist priest. After checking it thoroughly, the immeasurable Taoist priest confirmed that there was nothing wrong with it, and kept the storage ring. Following which, immeasurable Taoist slapped the back of that Emperor Lord level cultivator. That Emperor Lord level cultivator immediately flew towards the 4 Emperor Lords. "Kill this damned Taoist priest!" Many people could not help but roar out in rage as they pounced towards the immeasurable Taoist priest. But just then, the immeasurable Taoist priest tore through the void. He then tore through the void and left. "Chase after him! Don't let that damned Taoist priest escape! Dig 3 feet into the ground! We have to find this damned Taoist priest no matter what!" You're tuning into the Phoenix Knights YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.